Hello, very good evening and welcome to the MODUS Super Series here on Sporty Stuff TV. Thursday night signals the beginning of Group B's proceedings and, well, we have an enigmatic group full of some big names and some big stars, and here's who's in action tonight. Alex Small is a former weekly finalist here at the Super Series, losing out in the last week of last year to Adam Warner. David Schlichting dazzled on his last appearance here at the Live Lounge. The Turtle, with a big following, is hoping to see Turtle Power rise to the top this week. Bradley Roos finished third in Group A. He had opportunity to go on and win the group on Wednesday, but dovetailed on the last day of action. He's hoping for a response tonight. But John Henderson was so unlucky in missing out on top spot in Group A to Andreas Harrison, but he is playing at a ridiculously good level, the Highlander. Well, he's been hanging on the stage since around about 5:15 this evening. He swapped the darts for the microphone tonight. Scott Mitchell is alongside me here. And Scott, we'll talk about Group C in just a second, but quickly about tonight. It should be an interesting Group B, and we've seen the likes of John Henderson play some superb darts this week. Yeah,
I think Hendo can feel himself slightly unfortunate not to get through Group A. It was a resurgent sort of Andreas Harrison. He was just so good. So, yeah, other than that, I think Hendo would have got through Group A as #1, really.
So that was earlier on. So that's Group B. Sorry, let's talk about what happened earlier on today and have a look at Group C, because yourself was involved in action. And not often do I actually get the opportunity to speak to a player like this on a Thursday night about proceedings. But how did you feel things went?
Yeah, it went okay. I think I played okay. I lost a couple of games, but they were two games that I didn't lose them. I think both players actually beat me and won them. So. Yeah, you don't worry about that too much. You know you won 3 games and you're sort of happy with how today's gone, really. Yeah,
we'll have a look at the table in just a second. This is the tournament bracket as we reach the halfway point of the week. Andreas Harrison winning Group A. He's got a couple of days off. And as I say, Group C was our centre of attention this afternoon. And this is how things look at the halfway point. Really is so tight in Group C. 3 players on 6, 3 players on 4. And Richie Howson picked up 4 points for his day. Made a really, really strong start to proceedings. Little bit in the middle where he may have felt a couple of points were left out there.
Yeah, he felt that he'd given a few games up and he wasn't happy with his performance. And what he's got to look at is the fact that he's still on 4 points. The leaders are on 6. I don't think it's been a bad day. I think everybody duffed each other up a little bit, and so that's worked out in his favour with 5 games to go tomorrow.
And we'll see Group C featuring this man back in action tomorrow afternoon from 1 o'clock here on Sporty Stuff TV and on the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel. Right, Group B is our centre of attention this evening. 5 stars battling out for 3 spots into Saturday night's finals. The big name, of course, in the field is John Henderson. He's played some stupendous stuff in Group A. And you just get the sense, because of the way he's played, and he's done it over the course of 3 days consecutively, that there won't be any wane in the type of performances we're going to see from him tonight.
You wouldn't have thought so. You know, he was so consistent over all 3 days. He didn't play well on one day and scrape himself through 2. He was really, really good on all 3 days. And like I say, just a little bit unfortunate that Andreas had sort of like the Group A of his life, really. But he's got some good opposition here in Group B. Let's not think that it's just going to be John. You know, he's got like Bradley Roos, who's now, you know, had a good go up here in Group A. He knows what he's doing, and Hopai as well. He's one of those that you just cannot underestimate. So good at his finishing. I think he's going to relish being up here on the big stage as well.
It's definitely a debut for Hopai Puha here at the Super Series. He's going to be the 15th player that would have played at the Super Series in 2023 that will then go on to play at the World Championships. And a bit like Ben Ward, we've seen him be one of the dominant forces out in that oceanic region, and the numbers make for really, really good reading. And do we expect him to kind of follow that up on this particular stage over the next couple of days?
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm sure that he's seeing this as a bit of a warm-up and a bit of a practice for himself. And, you know, this is big stage here. This is like any other big stage you've played on in the world. This place is designed for what it's designed for, and he'll gain a lot from it. And I do think that he could be the silent sort of, the quiet one that could be up and coming in this group.
Well, this is what the bookies think about tonight's proceedings, and him and John Henderson both go out joint favourites, 13-8. Bradley Roos 6-1, David Schlichting at 7. Alex Moore 8-1. When you consider the pedigree that he has in this competition, he made a final here last year. Are they big odds, or is it because Hoopai and John could be such contenders for those top 2 spots?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think, let's not forget, he won the Champion of Champions as well, which is like a best of 3 sort of tournament right the way through to the end, and he won that as well. So, yeah, I think 8-1's a pretty generous on him. And like you say, he's made a final here. He knows what this place is all about. He'll look at that and go, oh, yeah, I'm the one at the bottom, am I? And we'll see. And I think that will give him a bit of a G up as well.
Well, that is what the outrights are saying. This is how the bet builder looks this evening. Just under 5-1 tonight. Bradley Roos, the most 180s in the game, is David Schlichting at 6-5. The game between John Henderson and Hoopai Puha to go deep over 5.5 legs at 1-2. And then John Henderson, most maximums against David Schlichting at 4-5. And I suppose the maximum one is out of the fact that we know that David is such a prolific 2-treble scorer, and that doesn't always reflect into big 3-treble visits.
No, absolutely, and he really likes this place. Those of us that have seen sort of like footage back of him, he really enjoys being on this stage, and there's nothing better than playing somewhere we really enjoy playing.
And David Schlichting is involved in our first game of the evening. He takes on Bradley Roos here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. The Turtle was quite the character on his last appearance here in Portsmouth. What could he do second time round, having just missed out on the finals on his debut, an early one this evening? Chris Murphy caught up with David.
David, welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. Just give us your thoughts on how much you enjoyed it here last time.
Well, I've enjoyed it a lot, certainly. It's been, well, to this day, probably 90% of my camera experience, because I've played 27 games last time around. So if you play 27 games, you're always going to have some really good moments. So I think I'm doing quite well at picking those moments and building off of them. And I've certainly grown to getting a lot of confidence from good moments. So I think in practice, I've been playing a lot better since I've been here. So there's definitely some direct benefit I can see from just that 1 week. So I'm looking forward to the next one.
You did become a little bit of a fan's favourite when you were here, not just with your ability on the darts board, but your ability to find a camera as well and strike a pose. Are we going to be seeing more of that from you this week?
Well, it depends, because it's not really forced. It's just, you know, I know where the camera is. It's not hard to find. It's a hole in the wall. And it's like my only way to interact with family at home and, you know, my wife watching at home and fans watching at home. So it's just my way to go to express any emotion directly through the camera to the people watching. So if I don't have anything to express, then I won't be doing it. I'm not forcing it. But if I have something to express, like joy when winning, or maybe frustration when losing, I don't know, probably not, then definitely you can look forward to it.
I will look forward to seeing you play. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And David Schlichting takes to the stage. He was like a turtle on the stage the last time he was here. He takes on Bradley Roos in the first of 10 matches this evening at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Scott Mitchell has made his way to the commentary box to describe all the action in the company of Chris Murphy. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Henry. Hello, everybody. And hello, Scott Mitchell. What a trooper the man alongside me is, really, having played on the stage in the afternoon to take his seat in the commentary box tonight. David Schlichting and Bradley Roos, the opening match of the evening. So, Scott, I think the first question for you is, which do you prefer, mate? Sat next to me or stood on the hockey?
Well, seeing as I'm sat here next to you, I'll go sat here next to you because, yeah, having lost my last couple of games today, that wasn't fun. So, much prefer to be in here, mate.
Yeah, well, it's all to play for tomorrow. So we look forward to that Group C campaign. Just to remind viewers, 1 p.m. on the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel, then 2:30 viewers on Sporty Stuff TV can join the action to find out whether or not
David to throw first.
Scott Mitchell will be sat
Game
next to me on
on.
Saturday night, or whether he'll be cooking darts on that stage. And against some of the players in this group, David Schlichting did make it to finals night on his debut last time he was here. But a different dynamic this time, just coming in for 2 days rather than the full week. He hasn't got that same time to grow into the tournament.
No, and Group B is only 4 games per night, and yeah, it's one of those groups where you cannot afford to lose 2 in a row. It's absolutely vital. It's a difficult group, Group B. Everybody says, "Oh, it looks a bit easier because 3 come out of it," but mentally to play, I think it's more difficult to play.
Alex Small also has been all the way to the big money match before, to a big final, as has John Henderson. And Hopai Puha making his debut, the New Zealand ace. We will see in game 3 tonight against Schlichting.
99.
Looking forward to seeing Hopai, obviously, after what Big Rig did last week, and more New Zealand representation here at the Super Series, showing we're truly global.
97.
Going for a second go at the World Championship as well. He lost in straight sets to Mickey Mansell last time he was there, but could not have more perfect preparation than getting a couple of days in here
Bradley require
on stage in front of the cameras. Doesn't have to go for this, so stays on the treble 20.
100.
Yeah, nice start from Bradley Roos here. 64 after 12 against the throw.
94. Bradley requires
He did delay that last start at the 20s. I wonder if he thought about going for the bullseye. Had it at 25, it'd have been on 59 now, which would have meant a single and then 2 darts at double. He gets 1 dart at double.
44.
He needed a couple.
116.
Yeah, you don't want to be giving these chances away because eventually they catch up on you. Treble 19, not to be this time.
92.
Nicely set up
Bradley
as well. So
require 20.
Rouge, you would feel, has to take this out.
Bradley battled through Group A to get into this group.
15.
Made a mess of the opening
Bradley
leg
require
here.
24.
Did he hold a throw? Schlichting.
No score.
Wrong bed for him.
Bradley require 5.
So fairly apprehensive start from both players here on the outer ring.
Oh, well, 5 in bits. It's treble 1 for double 1. That wasn't the intention.
No score.
It's not the outcome that he
require
wanted.
24.
Scott Mitchell would have been 2-0 up by now.
Wow, it's just my fast pace. That's a nice marker. 2 nice markers, surely.
12.
No, not to be.
Bradley require 5.
This is a sluggish start. It was all going so well for this man, but he's faffed around on the doubles, missing 5 so far.
Game shot on the first
Finally
leg.
gets 7th
Bradley
attempt, but the
Roos.
leg is in the ledger, and it's a break for Bradley Roos.
Yeah, it's one of those that he won't mind that it went that
So
far
it's
because he's
Bradley
got
to
it.
throw first.
It will be David will be gutted that he's had
Game on.
6 darts himself, or effectively 6 darts himself at it, and that was the whole throw for him. So he'll be more upset losing that one. Always difficult here. You know you've got your throw, and once you've got the throw, you want to take that first leg, and it just sort of sets a stall out for you in this particularly individual
59.
game. It's really weird. They all add up at the end of the day in the tables, but they're individual games that you have to go at, and no individual game is ever the same. So, yeah, be disappointed he lost that first leg for sure.
58.
Yeah, like you say, Scott, whoever wins the leg's not that bothered how it went, are they? But
41.
No, well, Bradley was there first, and he was there first comfortably, so you could say that Bradley will be thinking, well, it went my way, and that's the way it should have gone because I got there first. But it's difficult to think like that once you've had 6 darts at it, really.
59.
You feel that it's always got away from you. Even if you have 1 dart at it, it always feels that it got away from you.
60.
Reminder, 10 matches tonight. Alex Small, John Henderson next. Then Hopai Puha joins the action to take on David Schlichting before Roos meets Small. Henderson
59.
meets Puha in game 5. We'll be on air till around 1 a.m.
140.
You'll be back on the Oki at 1 p.m. looking for maybe a little bit of revenge in those opening encounters.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could turn those back in my favour.
100.
And yeah, still be in it sort of with a couple of games to go and be able to dictate it yourself. That's all you want. You don't want to be sat there waiting for others to try and help you through the group. You want to dictate your own destiny, really.
That's what Bradley Roos is trying to do here. Schlichting will get a go at the 1-4-2. It would be the ultimate irony if he were to take it out, having
60.
405 darts that doubled in the first leg.
Stranger things have happened here in the MODUS Super Series, though, mate.
Well, that's part way there. Well, this is incredible. Almost pulled it off.
Bradley require 107.
You're going to throw it that close. You're just well ahead, haven't you?
Roos isn't going to steal the leg away.
55.
Twice a finalist here at the
28.
Super Series. Back-to-back finals for Bradley Roos without crossing the line.
Games on the
But
second.
Schlichting does cross the line in the leg, and that will settle him down. And maybe we will start to see a much better quality of darts from here on in.
So look, it's David to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of explain when you're up there. You just want to hit that first treble 20 as quickly as you can on the start of the day, and then you want to hit your first double as quickly as you can to shut
45.
yourself down. And the longer that goes on, the more difficult it is. So both lads now on the board, and as you say, we might start now seeing them play a little bit more of themselves.
61.
A bit of bad luck for Bradley there with the bounce out in dart 2, but maybe that affected dart 3. That's all a learning curve. Shouldn't let what's happened before affect what happens next.
58.
Yeah, we used to say back in the pub days that never watch it to the floor. Never watch that second dart to the floor, whichever one falls out. Always keep your eyes focused on where it's been and where it went. And that way you can try and,
60.
like that one, it looked very close to the treble 20. You could replace your third dart in a similar sort of position, but you start watching them to the floor, it takes your mind off the game, and yeah,
90.
it makes your third dart pretty difficult.
Getting a good look at the action of each player. Rather similar, I think.
Yeah, very much so.
96.
I mentioned it yesterday, how you can tell which players have played from a younger age. Their pullback is usually a lot further than players that sort of start in their
56.
teens, because they're trying to make that distance when they're 8, 9, 10 years old. They're playing on a proper distance and the board at the proper height at times, so you can tell their backlift is sort of
60.
a lot further back, whereas some just bring it to sort of 90 degrees and push away from themselves. And 9 times out of 10, those guys are the ones that sort of took it up when they were a bit taller and a bit bigger.
60.
They do play at a very similar pace as well.
Yeah, very much so. It should suit each other.
60.
They should be sort of bouncing off of one another. Nobody's holding anybody up.
It's not happening yet for either player.
90. Bradley require 164. $45. David require 102.
Bradley really struggling to find his range here at the moment. He's not sort of finding it any better. He's just got the throw in hand at the minute.
54.
Something
Bradley require
needed to
119.
spark better. Not sure he really wanted to hit the treble. Certainly wanted to hit the single 12 as a minimum
79.
requirement. You know, on that
Bradley required
119,
48.
sometimes players prefer the single than the treble 20 to tops.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It does mess with you a bit. So it's tops here for
David on the
Schlichting.
third leg.
One thing he is good at is once he gets down there, he does get out. It seemed to be an unusual 6 darts for him at the first
It's
leg.
Bradley to throw
Been
first.
pretty much shooting straight out ever since, and he takes a 2-1 lead in legs.
So the turtle starts
60.
to emerge from his shell. I won't do the tortoise joke, Scott, that Henry told me to do earlier.
No, don't.
140.
Not on me. He was making out that I was a bit slow. I think he did do that with me. I said, how come I'm not the tortoise? Then he said, well, because you called yourself the dog.
100.
Well, there was a bit of a canine theme going on in your group, to be fair, Scott. You were playing pugs. At one point, a
190.
Great Dane.
Yeah, I had sort of noticed that from Group A when I'd been commentating, and yeah, it was always going to be way a dog theme.
We even said that Adrian should have changed his nickname to the Greyhound.
45.
Good bunch in Group C, I've got to say, and the banter in the back room was absolutely excellent. Everybody got on like a house on fire, which is always lovely.
180.
A little bit of a helicopter twirl there from Bradley Roos with a index finger in the air. Touch of the Brendan Dolans.
55. Bradley require 103.
Absolutely. Brendan Dolan would go straight out on this, wouldn't he, surely?
The finish not complete after the
67.
celebration
Bradley
stolen from Dolan.
142.
Well, 142, 57, 57 was the route before.
97. Bradley require 36.
So Bradley Roos to level this up then. Double 18.
Game shot on the fourth leg.
No
Bradley
problem.
Roos.
No problem. That'll settle him down as well. Nice finish straight out.
Fifth leg, it's David to throw
Obviously
first.
the leggy one was
Game
the first leg of the match, and that went a bit of a scrappy stuff at the end. Both starting to come to the party now.
137.
You are just joining us. You haven't missed anything. This is still game one. 2-2 between
55.
Schlichting and Roos. Alex Small and John Henderson waiting in the background. That'll be a completely different turn of pace, won't it, with those two on the stage?
100.
Yeah, definitely. And forward to seeing Alex Small. He seems to play very well here.
Yeah, good player. Real speedster. You'll see that iconic rock and
40.
roll throw of John Henderson. He came second in Group A to Andreas Harrison, ahead of Bradley Roos,
59.
who isn't showing that Group A form in this match so far.
Now, it's a bit of a slow burner, this one.
60. $82.
Schlichting starting to steal a march on the match here. Bruce needs another one of those to get himself right back into the
99.
mix.
David
Not to be this time.
123.
Well, may not bother with the 19s with Roos not on a finish, so treble 20, treble 13. They'll just tidy it up to leave tops.
83. $140. David required 40.
I was tidy on this just moments ago.
Game shot on the
He's
fifth.
tidy
leg.
on the double 10.
David Schlichting.
Definitely feel he's the one that sort of got into the game quicker.
Sixth leg,
Bradley
it's Bradley
Roos.
to throw first. Game on.
Nothing to fear yet. Bradley has the darts in this one, but he needs to find a nice early treble 20.
44.
He hasn't done that.
And that's a lovely first start for Schlichting.
95.
Unable to make the most of it. One on the floor. It looked like Owen Binks was stamping on it.
No, not our Super Owen. He's not like that. Yeah, it's interesting to
100.
find how many people wear brown shoes with black trousers in the darting world. It's like being a maverick wearing the different colour shoes.
Yeah, Owen Binks doesn't wear brown
60.
shoes. He wears rather shiny numbers. It's quite a clever idea, actually, from Owen Binks, because they also like the dartboard.
Yeah, he's always been known as little shiny
57.
shoes. There they are. Suppose he gets some second hand from all the old hire stores, does he?
69.
Funny little fact about shoes I found out last week was that Dennis Nielsen has a superstition that he has to play with his
100.
shoelaces undone.
Which player will be suffering defeat?
54.
I like what you did there. That was very good.
58.
Well, that might mean it could well be Bradley Roos, because Schlichting here, if he can find a treble or two, would become favourite to get it done in this leg.
81. Bradley require 142.
142. We'll see it two different ways here. Roos starting up top. Schlichting on previous examples will be starting down on the 19s.
71. David require 142.
Yeah, he was very close to hitting it last time, not to be this time.
42. Bradley requires 71.
May have to hit this. He gets two darts at double 16. Only
Game
needs
on
one.
the
All
sixth
square.
leg.
Going the distance
Bradley
in this
Roos.
opening encounter of the evening.
7th and final against David to throw first. Game on.
Smallest of ghost throws there from David Schlichting to the side. That was
A touch of the MVGs from Bradley Roos as well. He was getting all pumped up, wasn't he?
58.
And he back it up.
down to this one-leg shootout.
$96.
Hey, these one-leg shootouts in World Cups, the team game is one leg at a time. You get up there and sometimes you're against the darts and sometimes you're with them, and it really does teach you for these
137.
situations. You're playing individually on your own, these last leg shootouts.
306. Schlichting may
60.
think about starting on the 19s here. Give himself the best opportunity to leave a finish, but maybe because of the fact that Bradley Roos isn't going to do that himself, thought let's just carry on,
58.
powering as many points as I can.
Yeah, you don't really think about it when you're throwing second in this situation. You're just in your head, you're just thinking ton. And if you achieve that and your opponent doesn't sort of has a troublous sort of troublous visit, you're a happy bunny. You're one happy bunny.
Well, all square at the moment. 3 apiece, same score after
140.
9 darts apiece, but that ton 40 will give David the first chance to get the job done.
140.
And Julie back at
David
140. Good stuff
108.
there from Bradley Roos.
108.
$80. Bradley require 108.
Schlichting misses the 108. Doesn't get a go at double. Bradley Roos. Will he get a go at double? Will he hit? Will he win? Yes, he will.
Shot and the
Well,
match.
Schlichting was waiting
Bradley Roos.
on his favourite double 14, but Roos produce the best shot of the match, a 108 checkout to get the game done. And he knows where the cameras are as well, you know. It's a 4-3 victory for the Dutchman. Not the greatest start for the pair of them in the group, but 2 points in the pocket for Bradley Roos, and that is all that matters. It went down to a last leg decider. The pair stayed with each other. Schlichting couldn't take out the 108, and Bradley Roos duly did. Coming next, it's John Henderson, the Highlander. He takes on Alex Small.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where the first game is in the can, and it's Bradley Roos who gets the better of David Schlichting by 4 legs to 3. Next up for us, Alex Small in action up against John Henderson. Alec, who made it through to a final here last year, the final week of last year. Up here's a Highlander who began 2023 with a weekly success here at the Live Lounge. The 25-year-old from Wattsville, the former Champion of Champions winner, takes on Hendo, the 50-year-old. The Highlander was the World Cup winner back in 2021 with Peter Wright. In the commentary box for this one, Scott Mitchell and Chris Murphy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Henry. There will only be one winner in this match. Will it be Big John or Alex Small? Henderson couldn't manage to conquer Andreas Harrison and get a straight passage through to finals night, but many expect to see him there, including the odds compilers. But Small will not be an easy opponent, never is when he appears here
first. Game
for the
on.
MODUS Super Series. And just a warning to viewers who haven't seen him before, don't blink because you'll miss things.
43.
Yeah, big lads aren't usually super quick throwers, and I've known Alec for a long, long time, 10 years or so now. He was a youth player, and yeah, he gets on with the job.
When the first starts in, the second and third usually follow.
140.
He does like to move around the board a lot as well. He can do the maths at super speed.
140. 33.
Hendo's changed his darts recently. Black and gold,
60.
the colours of his hometown. Huntley, where he's from, up there, north of the border.
81.
Yeah, it says on that profile, and he will tell you his best moment in darts is obviously that World Cup win. But those walk-ons he had in Aberdeen for the Premier League, such a moment. How many people in their career get that
100.
opportunity to have a homecoming and be appreciated by literally thousands of people?
44.
Yeah, an absolute
Maguire,
dream. I know back in the day, the
170.
Premier League used to be in Bournemouth, and I always dreamed of maybe playing the Premier League, just one game at the BIC in Bournemouth. And obviously, more
60.
recent times, the
Maguire,
BIC has seen Chris Bellum-Smith, the
160.
boxer, who's from the town. Lots of his bouts at the BIC in Bournemouth.
Well, this would be an early knockout blow.
140.
Not to
Johnny
be, but
Maguire,
yeah, Henderson.
110.
Fabulous match with Michael van Gerwen he had as well. Got a draw. Really emotional night for him. No, it's not in, John.
54. I'll let you
Just
require
double
20.
checking.
Game shot on the first leg. Alex Small. Second leg is John to throw first.
The first leg
Game
goes the
on.
way of the Welshman. Mentioned in the build-up to this match, did Henry Deacon. That champion of champions victory, that's some difficult tournament to win, isn't it?
60.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a difficult tournament to even qualify for. The qualifying is sort of held around
100.
pubs and clubs up and down the country to find the finalists that go to Cardiff. And yeah, when he won it, I know it was a massive moment for him.
140.
Sending him a message saying, "Wow, mate, that is some
title
to own." I like Jim Williams, and I think Johnny Clayton has won it in the past. It's some big names on there. I get your name on the trophy with a
180.
both guys here going at it, hammer and tongs at one another. 180s back to back.
57. Johnny Maguire, 121.
So 1-2-1 for Henderson. Treble 17 would leave him the ball, but he's not going to take it out. And now Small can try and do something big.
57. I like Maguire, 164. $64. Johnny requires 64.
Cleverly done. Leaves himself a 2-darter. Should he be able to get it back? Hendo now on 64. At the 16s route. He tends to like tops. Here we go. Up for tops.
Game shot on the second leg. John Henderson.
And we saw him in full tilt there, I think we call it, from the side angle.
Delegates
Saw
Alex
the
to throw
release
first.
and at what angle his body is at when he releases the dart.
Almost looked like he was tripping up, but
89.
he's levelled up instead.
$140.
Reminder, first match went the way of Bradley Roos, 4-3.
60.
Hopai Puha, the only player not to appear yet in this group. He's going to be in action next. I was going to actually ask you, Hopai Puha has been in the UK. He was actually a late replacement in this group.
140.
He's been in the UK for a week or two. He got the invite last week when another player
58.
withdrew. So what a bonus for him to have this chance to play in this tournament before the World Championship.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to sort of acclimatise and things, doesn't it? And
140.
I'm sure his practice would have been going well. I think quite a clever idea. We forget how difficult
60.
it is to come from the
Require
southern
81.
hemisphere to the northern hemisphere to play darts. It's not like when we head off to wherever we go the day before. It doesn't matter what
Game
part of
shot on
Europe.
the third leg.
Nice finish
John
there from
Henderson.
Hendo.
Nice leg, yeah.
Yeah,
11 darter.
Lovely, lovely, lovely 2-darter.
Fourth leg is
And
John
yeah,
to
so
throw
we
first.
we head
Game
off to Germany or wherever, France, wherever, Holland, and it's sort of we go the day before. There's nothing really to acclimatise to. But when you go down
140.
to the southern hemisphere, I've done it once going from here to Australia, and it really did take me 2 or 3 days to
61.
acclimatise, to get used to the time difference. And yeah, I had jet lag terrible going down there, but I didn't have it too bad coming back home. And
100.
I think you have to time the flights well as well for that. It's a very difficult thing to do. So obviously something he's done before and then decided he needs a week really to get himself sorted
100.
and fair play. But obviously that comes with extra expense.
Interestingly, on the other side of the coin, David Schlichting, he flew in from
55.
Germany this morning. I was going to ask you if that was ideal preparation, Scott, but you're probably not the man to ask this
81.
week.
Yeah, no, driving for 45 minutes away is enough here this week. But no, I think you can get away with it. It's something that I used to do, particularly if there was like a
100.
pairs tournament or whatever, which wasn't ranked back in the BDO days. We would fly in the morning or the afternoon and then go and play pairs in the evening.
140.
So, but obviously that's not
106.
anywhere near the level that the guys are playing here.
Well, John Henderson's flying at the moment.
74.
Misses the opportunity there to go 3-1 up,
119.
but we'll hope to be back. 19's the first port of call for Small. Now the ball. In the
Game
ball.
shot
What a
the
finish that
forfeit.
is to level the match.
Alex
2-2. Henderson was almost pretty much home and hosed in this game. He would have been 3-1 up.
Alex to throw first.
Instead, it's all square, and
Game
Small's
on.
break back means that he suddenly becomes favourite to win this match.
Yeah, 3-1 would have been a long way back for Small, wouldn't it?
47.
And Hendo hit that one dart at double 16 and really, really punished by Alex Small.
85.
And as a player, you stand there and think, right, you've got yourself back in it. You're going to have to do that again because I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. You've just saved yourself
78.
there, and you have to think positively as a player when in that situation, even though it's a negative thing that's happened to you. You have to continue to stay positive, otherwise the game will get away from you
41.
immediately.
And that might hurt Henderson. You can just see a little hangover at the start of this leg.
60.
Hasn't managed to score a straight ton yet in his first two visits. They put that right here.
100. $60.
Yeah, smart thinking from the Scotsman. The 25 puts him on a finish.
100. Johnny require 170.
Cross to the 18s.
98. Alec require 156.
72 now. All on the 156. He wouldn't, would he? He wouldn't, would he?
Game
Yes,
shot
he would
the
indeed.
fifth leg.
What a shot, Alex Small. Super, super finishing from the Welshman.
Sixth leg is John to throw
And
first.
within a blink of an eye, Hendo misses one dart to go 3-1 up, and he finds himself there in defeat in the face at 3-2 down.
But
Hendo's having none of it. Second 180 of the match.
But it was back-to-back
100.
brilliance from Alex Small. 119 on the bullseye, followed by the supersized 156. Henderson couldn't go back-to-back, but it is
140.
5 out of 6 to leave 181.
100.
It's looking quite likely that for the second match out of 2, we're going to go the distance.
Both checkout stats are very, very good at the minute.
100.
3 from 5 for Alex Small and 2 from 3 for Hendo.
100. Johnny require
What a
81.
funny setup Alex Small's got there. He's using an MPG dart and a Desi Price stem.
Now that is in, John. Another 11 darter with an
Game shot
81
the
finish.
sixth flag.
Nothing sweeter
John
than a
Henderson.
repeater for John Henderson, who will now be hoping to do exactly what Bradley
Seventh
Roos did in
and
that
final leg is
first
Alex
match
to
and
throw
break
first. Game
in
on.
the last leg.
Absolutely. Everything with the averages says that Henderson should be
83.
home and hosed by now, but Alex Small keep doing the right things at the right time. Kept himself in this one.
Yeah, the 2 ton-topping checkouts of
54.
kept Alec alive in this game.
58. $123. 100.
And they're really turning the screw here.
180.
Third 180 of the match.
Makes his move.
140. Johnny
Looks
Require
small.
144.
Well, it's not as big as what Hendo hit, but he has left a more favourable finish. The 120 ladder climbing shot for Small when he comes back.
100. Alec
And it would be a hat
120.
trick of big 3-figure outs.
Tops it is for the match.
100.
Or you could say rushed
Johnny
it. He was a
Require,
split second
44.
quicker there than what his normal throw was.
Hendo goes 4 tops. 2 tens. Oh,
No
no.
score.
That's gone wrong, John. And I think he thought he was
Johnny
in.
Require 20.
I think he did. 20 for Small, then he's already hit this once in this match. Our opening leg,
10.
and this time he misses.
Johnny Require
Couldn't have got any
44.
closer.
Right, play it again. Double top. This time. Double 10 this time. No,
34.
just not happening. Well, the
Johnny
end of this
Require
match
10.
is like the start of the first match. Double trouble for the pair of them. And it goes
No
on.
score.
Small was getting further away.
Johnny Require 10.
Same target now for Henderson.
Game
Just about to
shot
say
and the
nobody misses
match.
fives, Hendo, do
John
they?
Henderson.
John Henderson, actually, he gets over the line and a match the out-averaged his opponent. A good 12 points there. As you can see, the double stats were pretty good until that last leg. 3 from 12 for Small, 4 from 10 for Henderson. We head into a short break and we will be back with Hopai Pua versus David Schlichting.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, the live lounge, our destination. And before the break, we saw John Henderson get the better of Alex Small in the last leg decider by 4-3. Next up, David Schlichting, who lost out in the last leg decider in his first game against Bradley Roos, takes on Hupai Puha. A first appearance for him here at the Super Series. The New Zealander is going to be in action at the World Championships next week, and this a real good warm-up for the man they call Hopes. And the hopes are high for him here over the next couple of days. Joint favourite to win the group alongside John Henderson. Let's see how he gets on in his first outing in the company of Scott Mitchell and Chris Murphy.
Yeah, high hopes indeed for the New Zealander, 38-year-old from Wellington. Played at the World Championship in 2021 for the first time. Made 3 appearances there. Also played at the Lakeside last year. But did lose in the first round on each of those occasions. For David Schlichting, just starting his darting career, 21 years of age. The Turtle, already an instant favourite at the Super Series, but hoping, following the footsteps of the likes of Martin Schindler and Gabriel Clements, of course, who had that semi-final run at the Ali Pali last year. Real international feel in this group. For once, no Englishman in a Super Series group, but I do have one alongside me in the commentary box. Scott Mitchell. Interested to see what Hopes can do on debut.
First leg, it's Hope.
Yeah, I really am. I really am interested.
Game
It, when you're from New Zealand, you're either a North Islander or a South Islander. I think Hopai is. I think he's a North Islander living in the South Island. I think I'm right in saying.
123.
It did play in the World Series of Darts as well. Number 2 ranked player when he
60.
debuted in the 2018 edition of the Australia and New Zealand events. Actually lost in the first round in Auckland to the late Kyle Anderson. Very much missed.
100.
Beaten by Rob Cross in Melbourne. And then did also play at the World Cup of Darts. Partnering Cody Harris in
40.
Hamburg. Actually made it to the quarterfinals. You'd have to be a proper darts fan to remember who beat New Zealand in the quarterfinals that year. Give you a few seconds at home. Who did New Zealand lose to in the quarterfinals of the 2019 World Cup of Darts? Well, you've had enough time now. If anyone got it right, get yourself a sweet out of the Christmas tin. It was Japan.
Hopai require 157.
I was racking my brains there and I couldn't think who it was. I've got to be honest with you.
$137.
Did play golf more before transitioning to darts as well. Those hand-eye coordination involved in both sports.
123. Hopai require 20.
It's quite a common theme with darters. They do play golf as the second game, or
Game shot on the first leg.
that's the
Hopai
hand-eye
Puha.
coordination needed. Double 10, and away we go.
Second against David to throw
Yeah,
first.
it's all hard work
Game
for David Schlichting at the moment. Caught in the crossfire here. It's a lovely start, a 13-dart leg. Welcome to the Super Series, Hopai Puha.
134.
Throw just is one of those throws that never looks like there's a great deal to go wrong.
100.
He holds it in a certain way, in what you would call a conventional way. His release is sort of it's 90 degrees to the floor, and he just brings it back and
42.
lets fly. It's not lots of movement. All in line with the eye. It's everything you would teach a youngster, just like this.
Yeah, we did see, of course, as Scott mentioned, Ben Robb reaching
57.
big final last week at the Super Series. Damon Heta came along to cheer him on. In fact, Heta could play Hopes at the Ali Pali. That's a second round tie if Puar can get
43.
past Martin Lukeman.
Yeah, tough game that. Martin Lukeman has really been quite a sensation over the last 12 months. PDC.
58.
Yeah, really good player. Great to have Damon down here. Did
81.
share his thoughts on the Super Series and the upcoming World Championship. The interview available in full on our YouTube channel. Plenty of planned, exciting content, some fun stuff. Make sure you
100.
subscribe.
$130.
Yeah, I like that play from Lichting there. In the ball. If I would have left in 96 and a nice little two-darter, something's come into the game in the last 5 or 6 years, that line of thought.
71.
Options here. Went for a treble 13. He's left himself 53. Tees up a double 18.
53.
I like that
Away
way
the
as well.
final
He made sure that he was well away
126.
from the dart that could have blocked him going for a single 13.
Yeah, he adapted, didn't he? Didn't quite work out. Treble 19 would leave the ball here for Hopes. But his hopes have been dashed. For this leg,
58.
if
David
Schlichting
require 18.
can land double 9.
Game shot on the second leg.
Yeah, nicely finished
David
off there by
Schlichting.
Schlichting, yeah. No thought in his head of twoing that up. No thought at all of
Delegates
splitting. It
Halbright
was
to
just
throw
like, that's what I've
first.
got.
Game on.
So I'm going to go and finish it off. So good work there from Schlichting.
$100. $140.
What we've seen today so far, even in the first match, is Schlichting's flights coming off. A lot of players don't like that to
40.
happen. They don't like to be having to bend down and pick things up and come back up and blood rush into your head. And
Yeah, various ways to avoid it. Players these days going for the whole
59.
sort of one-piece flight and stem combo. Other players in the past have been known to put super glue on their flights.
I used to do that back in the day, put super glue in and then,
Whoa,
what a lovely 180 there.
180.
Yeah, and you'll find that after a little while, so if you use the flight and stem maybe a couple of times for a couple of games, the super glue starts to eat away at the stem and makes it brittle.
98.
And then all of a sudden you will hit and then it'll just smash the end of the stem to pieces.
Would use the ball.
105.
It's a more sensible thing to do that because now he knows that 2 singles will leave a double
57.
rather than having to
A play requires
risk having to go for the
76.
ball at the end of this visit.
$36. David, you've got 147.
Not to be this time round, we'll go back up the top.
27.
It fell
A
out.
play require 40.
I hope I... Nice marker.
Game shot on the
That
third.
turned
leg.
out to be a beautiful
Alpay
marker.
Puha.
2-1 lead.
Fourth leg, it's David to throw first.
David won't be too
Game on.
bothered at the moment. He's on throw this time round. All three legs going with the throw.
$180.
Good response. Schlichting is starting to lift his game a little bit to try and live with what Pua's doing to him.
140.
We're about to see full turtle power.
Nothing seems to rattle Pua, really. It's just a
96.
gentle old approach, and nothing changes with his throw. He throws exactly the same every time. Same sort of timings
41.
between darts. Disappointed with the one there. That sort of threw him off a little bit.
$60.
No finish for Schlichting, and he did have the choice to leave one. Decided it was unlikely that Pua would leave one himself, and he
140.
did need 3 trebles to do so.
$65.
Yeah, I don't mind when a player does that. Leaves themselves on a bogey when they know that their other opponent is a mile away. Sometimes you can be moving around the board and sort of miss your aim target and mess yourself up a little bit. So I don't mind
140.
him doing what he
David
did.
require 100.
Up to back-to-back 140s there for Puha. Put him in prime position, and that big one has not helped Schlichting whatsoever.
80.
Yeah, well, he was on a
Away require
2
40.
darter before that, and then he couldn't go out after it. Caused himself a big problem. Pua might be
Game shot
about
on
to
the
cause him
fourth
more
leg.
trouble.
How
He
play
does
Puha.
by taking out tops.
5th leg, it's Halpy to throw
So
first.
3-1.
Game on.
Bradley Roos against Alex Small coming up
77.
after this one. That's the 4th fixture of tonight's 10. And Henderson Hopes. Many people think that's the big one, the battle for the top of the table. The bookies got so it as Henderson and Puha going
100.
through and the other 3 fighting it out. Do you see it the same way?
Yeah, I do actually. I saw that when we saw the names come up. Group B, like we said earlier, well,
42.
it's a difficult group because it looks like it's the easy one to qualify from because 3 from 5 go through, but you quickly run out of games in Group B if you're not doing the right things at the right time.
177.
Brilliant shot. 177 from Schlichting. Not done yet in this game. Remember, each of the first 2 games did
100.
go the full 7 legs, including Schlichting's opening defeat against Roos.
81. $100. David require 143.
A ton puts him right back in it, but Schlichting again opted for a
43.
more unconventional route, which is one thing he seems to do.
I mean, in the end, he's left himself 100. Now, he had this in the previous leg, he hit a single 1.
100.
And it wasn't a single one that was right next to the 20 either. It was right over by the 18s. It was a real shank of a shot. And now he's gone the other way and overcompensated. But a 5 still left in the shot.
Obviously, still in his head what
72.
happened last time to
Away require
over-adjust
82.
like that. May start bull. That was the intention. Is it a 3? So 79 remaining. Choices.
$42.
In that situation, I
requires
much prefer the
28.
42 route for tops because you can get 14 and a dart 18 for dart at the ball. So, selecting
14.
not converting here.
How player require
Well, he's
40.
halfway through his campaign this evening, David Schlichting, but he may have no points to his name. This is the first match at the Super
Game
Series
shot
for
and the
Hopai Puha,
match.
and it's a match that he has won
Hopai Puha.
convincingly. A 4-1 success. He was very, very clinical with the finishing. 4 out of 6 on the doubles for Puha in that one. A really, really good display from him. Schlichting departs the stage disappointed. There you see the average, 91.39, 66% checkout success. And David Schlichting, well, he's beaten for the second time tonight. A debut win for Puha. Coming next, it's Bradley Roos against Alex Small.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. And before the break, Hopai Puha inflicted a second defeat on David Schlichting. This evening, a 4-1 victory for the New Zealander to kickstart his campaign. Next up for us is Bradley Roos in action up against Alex Small. It's a battle of the Netherlands and Wales in our fourth game of the session. And in the commentary box for this one, it is Scott Mitchell and Chris Murphy.
Thank you very much, Henry. Really looking forward to this one, Bradley Roos. I think we will see a different level from him in this game, and it will have to be because we saw a great level from Alex Small. In fact, if you swap their opponents around in the opening matches, then Small would have a win to his name, wouldn't he? Disappointed to be beaten by John Henderson. Roos did get a 4-3 win his opener against David Schlichting, and both players now looking to pick up the points in this one. Scott, which way do you think it'll go?
Well, looking at the numbers from the first game, you would say that
100.
Alex Small will have the advantage here. He finished a 119 and a 156 in his first game and averaged 8 points higher than
60.
Bradley Roos. But as we keep saying this week, the game's not played on paper, we play on a dartboard. So
100.
sometimes the numbers can be a guide, but never a reflection on what could happen. And
59.
quietly impressed with Bradley Roos this week and his maturity. He's maturing nicely.
100.
He's a good young man, nice young fella. And back on the first times I used to see him here, he would sort of lose his rag a little bit with himself when shots didn't go right. And we haven't seen so much of that this week.
60.
Maturing as a player. With that maturity comes a game that becomes more solid
140.
because you're not stopping yourself so often. So Alex Small here on 141. Goes for the
91.
bullseye to
Quite 84.
head back up. Scores 91. Leaves the ball. Surely 14 for ball now for Bradley Roos. Bullseye it is.
59. I think you're
It's
quite 50.
The single ball, as they call it. Some nation around the world. 15 for 32.
34. Bradley required 25.
Blink and you miss it. It's like it feels like he's got one in the air and one ready in his hand, ready to go. It's such a rapid fire throw from Alex Small. This would be a nice tidy up.
9.
Should it go? And that's Roos's
I think he requires
favourite side
16.
of the board. He's more successful on 16 and 8s than anywhere this week.
Small just taking his time before delivering the dart towards double four, and
14. Bradley
didn't
requires
work
16.
out. Roos will return for that double eight.
Game shot on the
And he
first.
nails
leg.
it on this occasion.
Bradley
Similar
Roos.
kind of start to the first match. Okay, he hasn't missed as many darts at double in the first leg, but it's a
Alex
slowish,
to throw
sluggish
first.
start to
Game
the
on.
game featuring Bradley Roos. Didn't stop him winning the first match, and it didn't stop him winning the first leg of this match.
85.
Yeah, I like they're slightly sort of scared of one another. I'm not sure how many times they'd have played before. Not many, I wouldn't have thought. At all.
100.
A different darting journeys, this pair.
100.
Roos, of course, the biggest moment of him, that WDF World Boys Championship last year.
140. 60.
There's a dart that can be a problem for
57.
Roos. That one just under the treble. His darts do sit up at quite a tall angle.
121.
Alex Small there didn't really throw that last dart how he did the first two. He was disappointed with himself. A couple of ghost throws on the way back to the hockey, telling himself that he should have thrown it a little different.
Well, this will be a beautiful finish if it goes. Started on the ball.
71. Bradley requires 79.
Sometimes on that checkout, players prefer to hit the 25 because they know they're coming back to the ball with a marker. Not much of a marker that. It's an obstacle for Bradley Roos to navigate.
39.
You can see the flight was obscuring his sight of tops. 16 and tops.
Game
Oh,
shot on the
nicely done.
second
He's
leg.
just got this habit,
Alex
hasn't he, of
Small.
pinching legs.
It's a nice habit to have, actually, pinching legs.
Feel like it's Bradley to throw
Sees
first.
you in good
Game
stead.
on.
I can assure you.
One 100. 55. $46.
Henderson against Puha follows this. Then Schlichting
$96.
takes on Small before Roos meets Henderson.
$96.
Just see Alex Small's slight off-centre positioning at the hockey there.
121.
Very similar starting point for Bradley Roos as well.
171.
Really tidy visit there from Roos.
59. Bradley require 88. $80. Alec require 170.
So
60.
double four for Roos to take the lead. Small
They
hasn't hit the
require
heights he did against
8.
Henderson in game 2. Bradley Roos may punish him for that here. He will be well advised to hit this the way that Small has
He's
been
on the third leg.
stealing
Bradley
legs.
Roos.
2-1 lead for the Dutchman.
Fourth leg, it's Alec to throw first. Game on.
And no panic for Alec just yet. darts in.
139.
It's the fourth leg.
$60. As a viewer, Scott, I always get frustrated by a switch when it looks like the
81.
darts in the treble 20 are pretty perfect. Do you think the players do that because they're thinking about leaving potentially a better finish at the end of a leg, the 144, or do you
140.
think they're just seeing something that they think it's easier to find a different treble?
Yeah, I mean,
60.
I'm very similar to that. I know when I've got two trebles in there, which direction my dart might be lying. It might be not so obvious on a camera shot. And you know that if you're it's not
100.
quite at the right angle, or even where your flight, the square of your flight is in the position in the board,
100.
it could be favouring that 9 times out of 10 you try to thunder into the flight and use the previous dart to help try you draw it into the treble. And if that flight is not sitting correctly or whatever, then sometimes you'll come out because of that as well. It's not always to do with what looks right and the perfect lie in the board.
Game shot.
Well, that
the
looks
fourth
right.
leg.
And that is the
Alex
perfect line.
Small.
Every single target there. Treble 20, treble 11, double
Fifth leg,
14.
it's Bradley to throw first.
Perfectly
Game
pitched
on.
by Alex Small to level up this match at 2-2.
Like when you're playing and doing a shot like that, you can use the old-fashioned brass bombers when you're not
84.
putting two in the same place. You can use as fat a dart as you like. Modern day tungsten dart
60.
is obviously thinner, smaller, higher density, more weight, for less money, so to speak, in size. That's why tungsten is so popular.
96.
Dart manufacturers. Remember, there was one company brought out some Iridian darts, which
100.
again is another heavyweight type metal. I think it's slightly more expensive than tungsten, so those darts were a lot more expensive to buy than a tungsten
120.
dart. So brass and tungsten, obviously the most common used.
180.
Here are the first set of darts I ever had, like many people. Scott, Velcro.
Okay, yeah, I never really thought of Velcro. Yeah, absolutely.
180. 100.
Yeah, you can't get a 180 with those, can you? The little round end is bigger than the treble.
65.
I'm of an age that my first set of darts came from Woolworths.
There's a few Christmas stockings this year. Can still do this, Bradley Roos with a treble 20. Not now.
41. I think it requires 96.
Treble 17. Shake of the head.
36.
After
Bradley requires
learning
60.
that he's not going to have a go at a double unless Roos misses his opportunities here. Does tend to block himself on that target, doesn't he? Maybe needs to learn to throw the flatty.
20. I think it requires 60.
Yeah, it's always difficult. That's the way I like to do it, just throw it to one side or the other.
40.
Doesn't always go my way, but
Bradley
yeah.
require 40.
Got a clear sight at the target this time. Nothing in the way.
Takes a step back to motivate yourself here, and
Game shot on the fifth
rightly
leg.
so.
Bradley Roos.
So one away from a second win, and we
Shipley
said
gets
it
Alec
could
to throw
be
first.
Roos, Small and Plichting battling it out for a third place in this group. Well, it's
44.
Bradley who's looking the most likely. He might be thinking about higher than third place with a perfect start to his night.
Yeah, absolutely is.
60.
Not pulling any trees up with his averages, but what he is doing is clinical and getting away with those doubles.
49.
We said at the start of the evening, it's a group where you don't really want to be losing 2 games in a row, because only 8 games in the group for yourself to play over 2 nights.
60.
2 in a row, a quarter of the game's gone away from you, and that makes it very difficult to qualify.
94.
Good stuff, this from Bradley Roos.
Whoa!
Brilliant stuff. He's looking to put Small away here and now.
140.
A good response from Alex Small there. But it's Roos that's in the driving seat.
Always interested in the dart
92.
setup of Alex Small. You must feel like a champion when you're throwing with MVG barrels and Gerwin Price stems.
124.
Yeah, definitely. It's
109.
yeah, quite a strange way to set up, but it works for him.
$57.
What was he doing? Did he
Required 50.
intentionally go for the... Anyway, it's double 16.
34. Bradley required 52.
There's a side of the board that he likes to be on.
Game
And that's the
shot
reason
and the
why
match.
Bradley Roos takes a
Roos.
4-2 win over Alex Small. Now his throw and broke Alex Small in the last leg of the match. As we said, average is not bad, but not pulling up any trees, but they won't worry about that. It was the double stats that killed the averages in that one. 4 from 13 for Bradley Roos and 2 from 11 for Alex Small. But Bradley will not worry about that too much. He will be happy with a 4-2 win, and that takes him on 4 points to the top of the group. We head into a short break, and we'll be back with John Henderson versus Hopai Puar.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where before the break we saw Bradley Roos get his second victory of the evening session. And now on the Oki we see John Henderson and Hopai Puha go toe-to-toe in our middle match of the evening. These two were given the billing as the two group favourites to get through. But what can they do against one another? Let's find out in the company of Scott Mitchell and Chris Murphy.
Yeah, it is Highlander hopes in this fifth match of the evening. Henderson and Puha going head-to-head, the two favourites, as Henry rightly said. But at the moment, it's Bradley Roos who's top of the pile after winning his first two matches in Group B. The young Dutchman who's reached the final the last two times might be heading to finals night
First leg
again.
against
But both of
John
these
to throw
players
first.
in their opening
Game
victories,
on.
Scott, put in very decent displays.
Yeah, they're the two sort of 90 averages that we've had tonight. Hendo in his win over Alex Small and Hopai in his
140.
win over David Schlichting. Tend to find once you're doing those 90-plus averages, you don't have to be taking big shot outs with those 90-plus averages
60.
because you're getting yourself down around those 81 shot outs. And we've seen John Henderson at 81 twice tonight, clean as a whistle with two darts for 211 darters. So
140.
this one has all the potential to be an absolute ripper.
Yeah, classic legs from John Henderson in that opening encounter. But Puha has shown what he can do
180.
on more than one occasion. And it's the first 180 of the match. Just before John Henderson hits the second.
180.
Back-to-back 180s. Absolutely show why these two are the top billing of the group.
41.
One for tops is always Hendo's preferred route.
Game shot on the first leg. John
Goes
Henderson.
double 10. A very nice 12 dart. Hold of throw.
Second leg, it's Hopai to throw first.
Hi.
Game on.
He didn't know what sort of game he was going to get. He definitely knows now. As you said in his last match, this is a great way to warm up.
100.
World Championship match. Week.
60.
I did a flyer there with the second one, but he had a nice treble 20 lie with the first one and slots down the side of it. His third dart. Hendo in turn does exactly the same. He had a flyer with the second dart. It's 125 as well.
Good stuff from Hopes.
140.
Fill it up.
You keep going at it like that, we're going to have to change the board because the treble 20 will be wore out.
47.
Right on cue,
Away,
commentators curse 47. Thanks,
136.
Hendo.
Well, he'd like a couple in there now. Not going to do that, but may leave it handy. And does.
100.
Double 18 when he comes back. Henderson will be hoping to score at least 99 here. Now he's going to have to find a couple of trebles.
69. Hopai required 36.
Double 18 coming in.
No score.
Strange look across at the scoreboard there.
Had a long old look at the score. I was starting to think, is he going to just put this in the big four?
43.
Feeling uncomfortable on a double
Well,
18. I
required
thought, well, I'll leave
36.
something handy. Henderson can't go out. Now he can, so he's kind of forced to go for it.
It's not a side of the board that he's happy with. And this will be the reason, I think. He doesn't like to split across to the 9s.
Game shot on the
But
second
I don't know why he's
leg.
worried about it.
Umpire
Because he
Puha.
absolutely nails it.
Third leg, it's John
Funny
to
little
throw
passage of
first.
play there
Game
from Opai on that double 18.
100.
Yeah, just took his time, didn't he? Checking the score constantly, but all's well that ends well. One apiece. That's a very good start. A very good follow-up. And a very good visit.
180.
Third 180 of the match. Puha second.
100. $93.
Henderson ready to rock. Always amazes me to
43.
watch him. Every darts coach, everyone who's played the game would tell you to keep everything as still as possible. And there's John Henderson swinging back and forth every time. And somehow, still finding the targets.
58.
No, exactly. I know Glenn and I have had that conversation in the commentary box here, him being a coach. And yeah, he said the top 3 players in the world, I would never coach anybody to throw like those 3, but it's very successful for them. And same can be said here for
98.
Hendo.
Umpire require 170.
Oh, it looks very strange for us. He's had a super darting career with that throw. So he'll stay there. Oh, yeah. Big fish. Bullseye's coming up.
132.
Not
Running
to be
require
this time.
160.
It's a 12 and leads 38. I suppose it depends on what Hendo does here. Oh, he's on tops.
Game shot
And
in the
takes
third
it.
leg. John Henderson.
What a shot, John Henderson. That was the whole throw.
Yeah, that's got to
Well, it's
hurt, hasn't
Umpire to
it?
throw first. Game on.
Who nearly took out the 170, and John Henderson, having seen him fail to find the fish, stitched him up like a kipper with the 160 checkout.
5th top plus shot out this evening
140.
already.
That rocking and rolling is going very well.
140.
He'll be rocking around the Christmas tree if he wins come Saturday night.
Sure will.
96.
Christmas present, the small matter of the £5,000 for the winner as well.
You must be on more than that this week, Scott.
Yeah, I wish.
Well, you may be on that
140.
come Saturday night yourself.
You never know. Still in the mix in Group C, so big day tomorrow.
Good start here for Puha, but then he's just gone wayward and has to think about this now.
83.
Needed to find a second treble after the loose dart. And what John Henderson does so often is he punishes mistakes, doesn't he?
140.
Sure does.
And look what he's on. He's got 81 after 9 darts. You know the rest.
We do. We've seen it do it. Done it twice
60.
already in his first
Johnny
match
Require,
against Alex
81.
Small, and that was the turning point. Alex Small himself had hit 119 and 156, but here we go.
69.
Well, can Puha punish
Umpire
a Henderson
require
mistake?
122.
Treble 18 is the best route here. It gives him a double chance. Because he can hit it now and get a go at the bullseye. Over adjusted and Henderson will return.
54.
Looking east.
Johnny required 12.
A double 6.
Game shot on the fourth leg. John Henderson.
No second invitation needed there from Hendo.
Fifth leg, it's John to
Gives
throw
the
first.
throw.
Game on.
From Hopai. Hendo I'll try and close this match out with the darts.
140. $100.
It looks like Henderson is dealing with everything that's been thrown at him in this game. Averaging in 3 figures. Puar's producing a very
85.
good display himself. But Henderson's dealt with him well.
Yeah, as a player, you come into these groups and you do kind of target where you feel that the danger could be coming from. Not always
96.
where you think it's going to come from, and you target it and try and get through those games that you feel are going to be the problematic ones. And this will be one that
135.
Hendo would like to get through without doubt.
96 the last score from Puhar.
$57. Johnny Maguire, 141. $60.
Well, it's 81 again for John Henderson. This time not after 9 darts. But he might have to take it out.
140. Johnny Maguire, 81.
And he does.
shot
Julie
and the
takes out
match.
his third
John
81
Henderson.
shot out of the evening. John Henderson gets through the Battle of the Titans there. 4-1 win to him. Puar really giving him a good go. 96 average. But it was Hendo with 100.63 takes the match 4-1. We head into a short break and we'll be back with David Schlichting versus Alex Small.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where we're halfway through the night's action, which means time to get the assessment of Scott Mitchell on what we've seen so far. Well, these are the results from our first 5 fixtures of Thursday night, and we're beginning to see a couple of emerging forces in the group. Bradley Roos winning both his opening matches, and before the break, John Henderson joined him on the 4-point club after getting the better of Hopai Puha by 4 legs to 1. So that is what we've seen so far this evening. Let's get the assessment of Scott Mitchell of it all. And let's begin with the 2 players who picked up 2 wins. We'll begin with Bradley Roos. Now, we said that possibly he could be in that battle for 3rd position, but he's trying to prove that case wrong, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He started well. Although his averages haven't been anywhere near what Hendo's doing, the fact of the matter is he's on the same points and a good leg difference. So, you know, he's done exactly what he set out to do this evening. Win those first couple of games and see where you go from there.
And some big finishing when it mattered the most. He's just been able to hold his nerve, hasn't he, in key moments?
Yeah, we've noticed this week that he's really good on that side of the board, 32 and 88, and he heads that direction as often as he can. So it works for him. It's been working for him this evening. So, yeah, fair play to him.
So Bradley Roos 2 from 2. John Henderson also 2 from 2 so far this evening. And has he just sent out a bit of a statement, not just the win against Hopai, but the way that he got that victory as well?
Yeah, absolutely. The way that he got it, it was a convincing win. It was 100 average. It was saying to everybody else in that back room, this is where I'm going to be, and this is what you're going to have to do to get me. And he's just been so. This 160 was absolutely pivotal because Hopai here almost hit the 170, and he's thinking, well, the leg's in my hands now. I'm sat on 38, and along comes Hendo, rock and rolls his way right through to this 160. It was a super finish, and you can see he went on to win 4-1, and this was the turning point of the match. You know, it broke Hopai's heart really, and he went on to continue to play exceedingly well from there. Yeah,
it certainly was the shot that basically gave John Henderson that win against Hopai Puha. Alex Small, he's had 3-ton plus checkouts tonight. What do you think his overall assessment of positions are going to be?
I think he's been a little bit unlucky actually. You know, the way that he's playing would say that, you know, he should have more points on the board, but he's not getting it wrong at the wrong times. He's just sometimes he's being outplayed in certain legs, and it's picking your moments when to do these things. And at the moment, he's not just quite picking the right moment to do it. But you can see that he has a big way. He has a big chance of taking that 3rd place as well.
Well, let's have a look at the league table then at the halfway point of tonight's action. And as you can see, John Henderson and Bradley Roos both on 4 points respectively. Hopai Puha, the other victor, and Alex Small and David Schlichting both at the bottom of the table. And particularly for David, there's possibly a few issues now. He's going to have to pick up some wins. He definitely at least one before the end of the night.
Yeah, we've been saying that you don't want to lose 2 games on the trot, and it's not the fact that he's lost 2 games on the trot. It's kind of the way he's lost them. He hasn't really hit the ground running yet. So he really needs a big game next one, and a big 90 average and win the game comfortably to get his sort of show on the road, really.
Yeah, most certainly. Game 6 is almost upon us. Scott Mitchell's going to make his way over to the commentary box to describe the action with Chris Murphy.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yeah, big game this between the 2 players without any points yet, because one of them will start to get cut adrift. Whoever loses will have suffered a hat-trick of defeats and will therefore be rooted to the bottom of the table. And Alex Small still has Hopai Puha to play, so could end up above him by the end of the evening. As for David Schlichting, well, his last match of the night is against John Henderson. That's an unenviable task. You really feel that if he's going to pick up any points, it's going to have to come in this one. But Small, as the boys were just saying, has maybe been a little bit unfortunate tonight not to have any points to his name. And it will be no easy feat to get a win over the wild card.
$140.
Races through the visits, and it's a very fruitful opener. Like Small.
59. $60. $58.
Ah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. A maximum as well.
180.
Now, this is going to prove a point, isn't it? Never mind the turtle, about the tortoise and the hare. Mr. Scott Mitchell has got about, what,
81.
25 feet to walk
121.
from the presentation room to the commentary box. And I think this leg might be over before he gets here.
41.
Bit rushed the last one.
140. Alec, you require 80.
Needs to avoid that dart. He's done well there. That was precarious. He could have easily bust.
Game shot on the
Instead,
first leg.
he's finished.
Alex Small.
And I was right. Alex Small wins a leg before Scott Mitchell has made his way back to the commentary box. And that's without going the long way round.
92. $59.
So, 1-0 Small at very good 80 checkout and a 180 in that opening leg. Mr. Mitchell has just
137.
sat down alongside me. I was just saying, Scott, you feel that this is a kind of must-win game, if not for both players, then
34.
certainly for David Schlichting, who has got John Henderson in his last match of the night.
Yeah, absolutely, and that makes it a difficult finish for him.
140.
And there's no two ways about it. He's on a roll and make life without a win here very difficult. Schlichting, and then you're then all of a sudden, if you've lost all four today, you're looking at having to win all four tomorrow to give yourself a chance. With all your opponents having a bit of a head start on you.
100.
It's usually about 8 points that'll get you through. Some sneak through on 6, but you don't want to be relying on that.
Yeah, it's usually 4 wins and 8 points.
59. I think you require 32.
Sort of generally around the
Game shot
third
on the
place to go
second leg.
through.
Alex Small.
2 legs for Small in double quick time. 13 darter on that
Against
occasion.
David to throw first. Game on.
Haven't seen the happy faces that we saw last time Schlichting was in town. Hasn't had much to smile about.
37.
No, absolutely. We know he's a character from his
140.
visit before, and as he said in his interview earlier, he knows what the cameras are, but at the moment he's got to find the outer ring and a few treble 20s.
137.
The thing that he should be more concentrating on.
96.
Well, he is at the moment in front in this leg, but we know that Small can put in a big visit from anywhere, and Schlichting's just making it difficult for himself at every turn.
44.
Yeah, very much so.
57.
Alex Small looking for 95 there to leave himself a big fish, but it didn't happen on this occasion.
Yeah, and didn't have to stay there either. He looked blocked.
43.
Maybe because his darts go fairly upright, he felt there was a gap there that he could get through, and he clattered into one of the flights, and that wasn't to be. But
140.
Schlichting helped him out with a relatively mediocre visit. Double 10.
130.
Yeah, made a mess, didn't he? 44
87.
followed by 43, and nearly put it right by taking out the 140. Small, treble 16 for double 18.
51.
Yeah, and with the poor first start, he pretty much nearly did the same as well. Schlichting, you have to feel this has to go, otherwise it's going to be a long, long way back. Small set on 36, and his finishing has been
It required 36.
probably very positive for him tonight.
Oh,
No score.
wrong bed. And a reprieve
David, you
for
require
Schlichting.
4.
And once again, it's the commentator's curse. I do apologise, Alec, when you watch this back.
And he will. He's an avid watcher of the Modus Super Series. Is Alex Small? Often hear from him when he's watching from home. He was even watching on the
2.
telly when David Schlichting was
Alec
throwing those
requires
darts.
36.
There is a big screen, a couple of big
Games
screens
on the
to the
third
left and
leg.
right of the
Alex
stage, and
Small.
that's where Small's eyes were fixed. And he would have been pleased to see the misses before he stepped up and hit.
Small flag, it's Alec to throw first. 100.
Yeah, like when I'm here on doing a bit of commentary, he does text and message me as well, Alex Small. I know he's a big fan of the Super Series and watching.
135.
I think a few people are. You've seen new faces that you wouldn't usually see, and
100.
then when they do pop up on the big screen, in either the PDC or WDF, they're not such a new face. This whole
134.
MODUS Super Series idea is a fabulous thing for the up-and-coming player. And
60.
as we already know, many have gone on to collect tour cards off the back of successful years here.
140.
Small is piling the pressure on Schlichting here.
180.
Great
There we
leg
go,
of darts,
192.
the best leg of darts we've probably seen from Schlichting all evening, but it might amount to now. Has to hit double 16 for a dozen dart leg.
76.
Can't do it, and now Small can
161.
put him away. Favourite double,
43.
not found.
David, he requires 16.
Really has been Schlichting's Achilles heel. He's getting opportunities at these doubles. He's just not converting at all.
14.
And he can't believe it himself that he's throwing so bad on the outer ring. He really can't.
18. Game
And that's that.
shot and
Alex
the
Small
match.
gets a big win.
Alex
A
Small.
4-0 win against the disappointed, deflated David Schlichting, who does not know what to do with himself, but maybe go back and have a practice. He'll be throwing at those doubles, that's for sure, because he has missed 11 in that game. And Alex Small, who only threw at 9, hit 4, averaged almost 94, and picks up his first win of the evening. Small sees off Schlichting 4-0 after the break. It's Bradley Rose against John Henderson.
Yeah, the Highlander is having a fling this week here at the MODUS Super Series, and he's had the perfect night so far. 2 wins from 2 to kickstart his campaign. Before the break, we saw Alex Small pick up a win against David Schlichting, who is now 3 defeats from 3. As for Hendo, he takes on Bradley Roos, the other player with an undefeated record so far this evening. So somebody's O has got to go. And watching this one in commentary, Scott Mitchell is alongside Chris Murphy.
Yeah, thank you, Henry. Yeah, something has to give here. One would say, with his 98.13 average so far this evening, that's John Henderson's running average. You'd say it's possibly John.
First leg, it's Bradley
is
to throw
a
first.
slight favourite here,
Game
even though he
on.
doesn't have the darts. You feel is going to have to find something pretty special. His game a little from where he's been. He's
59.
last game was in the mid-80s, and Hendo's lowest average this evening has been mid-90s, and he's
140.
been adding those 100 shots in. You know, there's a 160 shot in there as well. And that opening encounter, 59 to 1 and 140 to the other, shows. But what happens in these sorts of games is you do get dragged along. You can get dragged along by the better player.
42.
Or the one that's averaging higher, let's say, because both would be happy with 4 points at this stage in proceedings.
100.
Yeah, well, it's the fourth meeting of the week between the pair.
$81.
John Henderson and Bradley Roos. Henderson went down 4-3 in the match
59.
between them on Monday. He then won 4-2 when they met on Tuesday. When they played
98.
yesterday, well, John Henderson really went to town, a 4-0 win.
Hendo's been going to town on a lot of
60.
people this week.
Maguire 140.
Why? Been favourites with the bookies for this match, that's for sure.
Lovely
Game
stuff
shot in the
from
first
John
leg.
Henderson,
John
who is
Henderson.
really flying tonight. We're seeing the very best of Hendo.
Second leg is John to throw first.
And the
Game on.
Darty party in Pompey on Saturday night could be a big Hendo weekendo.
100.
What a way to sign off for the scintillating Scot. You were in the
60.
practice room with the pair of them on Wednesday, Mr. Mitchell. What type of personalities do they have behind the scenes?
60.
John being John, and has always been a dear friend. He was in there, basically, the players were coming in that lost games, and he was encouraging other players and saying, it's only one game, mate.
93.
He's a good soul, is John Henderson. He really is, and he's a big influence in the back
60.
room. And Bradley, I was explaining to him yesterday how impressed I was with him, his maturity, and how he's matured since his early visits here. And he again,
58.
he was very similar. Nobody likes to see other players losing and coming in upset, and both of those are the sorts that sort of back it up and encourage everybody, really,
180.
even if they haven't played them as well. They still play them, and they're trying to motivate them. Two very good people, and it was a very good room there Wednesday. Very, very sort of tight and together. And
140. Johnny Maguire 101.
Glad you answered like that, Scott. When I asked the question, I thought,
93.
that was a
Johnny
bit
Maguire,
dangerous. What if he says,
150.
well, actually?
no, they're both very good people.
Henderson looking to double his advantage when
40.
he returns.
Johnny require 8.
Double for the target. And still, and in.
Game's on the second leg.
2-0.
John
We're
Henderson.
starting to see a little bit of dominance now. These were the two players that had won their
Well,
two
it's Bradley
games,
to
but
throw
it's
first.
Henderson who's
Game on.
bashing Bradley up, really.
It's as I said to Henry in the break there when we were in the interview room, and
140.
Bradley would have known that this would have been a difficult game for him before the evening started, and he would go down, he would look down through the fixtures, because actually on Wednesday he's the guy that goes down ticking all the fixtures off as they happen. He's the one with the pen, so yeah, he would go down through the fixtures, tick them off as they happen.
100.
And so he would, with him doing that, he would know that this was a game where he would have felt that he needed to win those first two before this game.
121.
And that's exactly what he's done. He's very cool and calculated, is Bradley.
He's left himself in a nice position. This is where John Henderson will usually slam in a 140.
85.
Couldn't quite manage that. Does leave a finish of sorts, but it's a big one.
$57.
What I like about the young man here, he's gotten 2-0 down to the favourite in the group, and he hasn't panicked. He hasn't panicked. Hendo now trying to tidy it up. 114 left, John.
59.
Yeah, good move considering the treble 20 was blocked.
Big target to aim for here. Treble 16 and treble 8, both more than acceptable. Finds the latter for tops.
Game shot in the third leg.
Nicely done.
Bradley Roos.
And I don't believe he went for that route. I believe that he went to stay down. I think he aimed at a treble 16 there, and that was a lovely miss for him. It was a good miss, and what a lovely double top. I honestly don't think he went that route.
Right, let's have a 9-darter.
180.
It's about time. We haven't had one this week.
$100.
Ooh.
100.
Still just does the job in deflating the opponent a little, doesn't it? They've just got a good leg in the ledger to get back in the game, and then Henderson kicks off the max.
59.
Backs it up with a ton. Leaves Bradley Roos in the wilderness.
77.
Yeah, again, very handy pick up with the last dart from Hendo there. I think he touches turn into gold
30.
at the minute.
Johnny Buck 144.
He'll now go for a treble 8 himself.
88.
And that would have been intentional. He does love double top.
Yeah, definitely deliberate. Up in the 8 segment.
100. Johnny Buck 56.
Bradley, after winning a leg in 14 darts, is now staring. Loss of a leg in the
36.
face, but no worries for Hendo at the moment. Be back on 2-1-2, but thought a 180 was coming there. That was a perfect lie for the 180.
140. Johnny Buck 20.
Good visit all the same. Hendo for double 10.
No score.
Well, he did everything right in this leg until the very end of it. Now Bradley Roos could level. Single 16 to tee up tops. Oh,
Game
very
shot
nice.
before
Very
there.
nice from Bradley Roos. Henderson was piling on the pressure. It looks like a diamond has been made.
First.
And Bradley
Game on.
Not a flicker, and then a little shake of the head from Hendo.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows that one was given away. He had 5
100.
darts at it. 3 clear at double 10, and he had the 56 the throw before that. Missed 2 at tops.
68.
And it's funny what that's done to him. Look, you spend day after day trying to get your confidence up, and your confidence can disappear in a match in one throw.
140.
And it can be raised in one throw as well. And that 72 shot for Bradley Roos has given him a lift.
100.
See from that camera angle how the darts make their way to the board.
And also you can see the angle of the dart, and you can see now possibly why
42.
that's more of a player's eye view of where their dart is going and why they move out. We discussed earlier when they can have 2 treble 20s in, why they move.
Similar flight path,
57.
similar arc, the pair of them. Both like darts above targets, if not in. Not really there.
97.
Didn't switch with the second dart because he knew he might have to come back
59.
up with a third,
Ready,
so would
require
rather just wait until the end of
122.
that visit.
So 110. Really needs to go back to that 54.
86.
Oh, class. Did that beautifully. Really did have a bit of a blocker dart there in the treble 4. He's tidied up nicely, and this will be 3 legs on the bounce for young Bradley Rose. And I'll tell you, we talk about his maturity. Didn't panic at 2-0 down. Hendo was throwing everything behind the kitchen sink at him, and now
Required 36.
you just joined us. You would not think it was the same game.
Total turnaround. For Bradley Roos, who's on a cruise at the moment. The Scotsman sinking.
Game shot on the
The
5th
double.
leg. Bradley Ruse.
Is pinned by Bradley, who's turned this tie on its head.
6th leg, it's John to throw first. Game on.
From 2-0 behind to 3-2 ahead. But here comes Hendo again.
140.
Yeah, the one thing Hendo has in his advantage, he's 3-2 down, but he does have the throw. He has this terrier on his tail now,
140.
who's managed to lift his spirits.
What a position Bradley Roos is
60.
going to put himself in if he wins this match. It'll be 3 wins from 3. Taking on Hopai Puha in the final match. If he can beat him as well, then Roos is
41.
good as there.
Yeah, very much so. Hendo's still got a little bit to say about that as he gets his third
180.
180 of the match.
$60. John
Okay, time for a
21.
1-2-1 from John. Doesn't have to go for this. Why the second dart remains
61.
north.
Again, not a bad miss. Still leaves him on a last 2-darter. We're hoping this
60.
time
Johnny requires 60.
Pops is his friend and not his foe.
Can't stay in that part of the
20.
double, and you can see why. There just wasn't room. Had to go left, couldn't.
125.
Got
Johnny
Bradley
requires
tapping on his
40.
shoulder.
Game shot on the 6th flag.
He'll be
John
relieved there
Henderson.
because he thought started to have those very unhappy memories from the leg before. Showed a bit of
7-1
character
against
there,
Bradley to
John, and
throw
he's still
first.
shaking his head.
Game on.
Still shaking his head, bless him. You're doing all right, my boy.
$100. $78.
It's a good opening from Bradley Roos there. Can't explain to you how good a ton is to open up on a last leg decider when you've got the darts. You really need to back that then with
58.
something like a 140 or another ton minimum requirement, and hasn't done that, and opened the door for Hendo, and Hendo's coming.
139.
Again, he moves out. Didn't like the angle of that second dart. Now he's found it.
125.
That was quite a big deflection into the 5, but put himself in a position to make Hendo think.
98.
All in the balance. Endo raced
60.
away in the early part of this match, winning the first couple of legs. Bradley Roos then won 3 on the spin to take the lead. Henderson hit back to force this decider, and he's going to be in the best position in it.
85.
Should have been in a better
Require
position.
158.
Would be a mighty, mighty shot. He's got to stay there. Which across 78.
134.
Now it's pressure on Hendo for the 101.
101.
One dart at tops. And
Game
one dart at
shot and the
tops
match
is all
John
Henderson
Henderson.
needs. Bradley Roos was looking like he might be getting a hat trick and a really impressive start to his Group B campaign. But it's John Henderson who's made it 3 wins from 3. The Highlander managing to salvage a situation in that one. In truth, when you look at the amount of darts he had at double, he was the deserving winner of that match. It started with a fine 140 checkout, and it ended with a fabulous finish of 101. 3 games left to come tonight then. Alex Small up next. He faces Hopai Puha.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where John Henderson pulled off a comeback victory against Bradley Roos before the break, winning by 4 legs to 3 to make it 3 wins from 3. Next up for us, Alex Small is completing his night's action. He takes on Hupai Puha, who was defeated by John Henderson last time out. Let's see what happens in this particular contest by handing over to our commentary team. And it's Scott Mitchell and Chris Murphy who are in the hot seat tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Henry. Just joined us. A bit of a head-to-head there with Bradley Roos and John Henderson for top of the group. And they took it 4-3, taking him to 6 points, 3 wins from 3.
First leg, it's Alec to throw first. Game on.
You have just joined us. You've missed around 17 180s and 700 plus shots out so
99.
far this evening. Where have you been?
Yeah, past the midnight hour now, moving closer to Christmas. And it's also the day that we'll see
41.
the start of the World Darts Championship, a tournament of which Hupai Puha will be a participant. Christmas isn't Christmas
180.
without the darts. And without the ducks, apparently.
You can't beat a Christmas tree with a couple of ducks on it, can you? It is how we roll here
60.
at the Super Series. Or how we swim, more to the point. Yeah.
Well, next on the
44.
bill, John Henderson against David Schlichting. Hupai Puha against Bradley Roos, the last match of the night. But who will be top of the tree come the end of it? It looks like it is going to be Henderson.
41.
This one could have ramifications on where third place goes in this group.
98.
All down on 80 after 12. Not too shabby at all.
42. I'll let you require 80.
Papua way back on 317.
$40.
More going. 16s for that 80.
180. I'll let you require 40.
Two tens.
30. Upon you require 137.
Options here. Could start on the 57 and then go tops. I'll never know. Didn't like that dart, did he?
No, I wasn't happy on
57.
location
quite
in the
set.
board. Really wanted that to be a 57 now. Nobody misses fives, do they, Alec?
Game
course
shot
they
in the
don't.
first leg. Alex Small.
Start to panic as you run out of darts. Your hand gets
Second
empty
leg,
of
it's Hupai
darts
to
and you
throw
run out of
first.
chances.
Game
But
on.
he had a lovely little leg there and needed to finish it off.
But it's the precariousness, isn't it, of those odd-numbered doubles when you've got
100.
2 darts left. You know that you can't afford to come inside. And then with any double, you've got 1 dart left. You know you have to hit.
It's not how
31.
precarious it is. It's how precarious it is in the moment. That's the biggest thing. Because you go home and you practice them and they're all the same size and whatever. But it's when you're 3-3 and you've got that double 5 left with 3 in your hand, and that's what makes it
140.
precarious. It's the moment as well, and the situation as well as what you're trying to do.
100.
The situation here for Alex Small is he's trying to get ahead of Hupai Puha and ensure he's the one in the top 3 rather than his opponent, because that is what you need to do in Group B. The top 3 go through.
83.
And as yet,
60.
nobody's really out of any equation, but I feel David Schlichting at the bottom of the group has to beat Henderson to give himself a chance tomorrow of chasing that third place.
60.
But The way that he's performed today in comparison to Henderson, you would think that that's a bit of a tall order for him.
100.
If he loses that
Away
one, it
record
will be a
180.
turtle wipeout. No go at the double in this visit, but he will
58.
leave himself on a 2-darter for when he returns. What kind of pressure will he be under? Oh, that kind of pressure.
174. Halfway requires 60.
I think they call that immense pressure.
$40. Alec require 36.
I think that answers our question.
Yeah, the pressure told, didn't it?
Very much so. Now you've got to finish the job off, Alec.
27.
He doesn't on this occasion.
Halfway require 20.
So, double 10, having missed a dart at that target already. This
Gains on
time,
the second leg.
nails it
Halfway
for
pool.
parity.
The leg it's Alec to throw first. Game on.
Those of you who are new to us will wonder why there's a slight delay
100.
when players finish a leg and start a next. Well, it's all to do with our equipment here resetting itself for the next leg. Takes around 9-10 seconds.
100.
So you have to wait for the scoreboard to update itself at the end of the leg. Transfer all the data.
140.
Speaking of pause, haven't talked about your shirt this afternoon yet, have we, Scott? What a Bobby Dazzler that was.
Yeah, it's one from back in the day. I just fancied wearing something different actually today. So when I went to get the shirts out of the
140.
wardrobe this morning to pack, and I thought, oh, I've forgotten I used to use those. So yeah, so I wore one today, and it was
49.
yeah, it worked for me for the first 3 days.
We've got another question for you as well. There was a debate raging. Is there a dog on your darts, on the barrel?
Yes, there is.
91.
That is the mystery solved. Couldn't quite tell. We were having eagle-eyed looks, but the dart never quite landed in the position we needed to see. And
94. Halfway require
didn't know if it was just a little
170.
smudge or whether it was actually a dog.
That's
And
it.
we've now got the answer.
A little dog that's wearing out fast. So I'm waiting some new sets to arrive. That's a prototype set of my new
100.
dart. So yeah,
Halfway
hopefully
118.
for Q School I'll have another few sets of those.
There we go. All the big questions answered here at the Super Series.
78.
Now Hopai
Halfway
Puha
require
is one of his
70.
own. Double 8.
Game shot on the
And
third.
that's the
leg.
perfect answer.
Halfway Puha.
Bit of a change from Halpai there. Caught our spotter out.
Fourth
He's
leg,
been
it's
going
Halfway to
treble
throw
10
first. Game on.
on his other options on 70, and this time went treble 18.
$58. $60. $100. 100.
When you're a fast thrower like Alex Moore, your parabolic arc of throw and gravitational pull to the floor is very flat. He throws them hard and flat into the board.
180.
I hope I would be a more deliberate half moon arc to the board
96.
because he doesn't throw quite with the power that Alex Moore does.
It looks like he's dealing well with small speed and the quality of Alec here. He's turned this around from losing that first leg.
95.
Totally in charge right now.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. Puha's been on some of the biggest stages in world
60.
darts, and
Help height
obviously
required,
this week
68.
will be on the biggest, which is the Super Series, of course.
Well, 17s doesn't have to go for the bull if he hits a single. Hasn't hit the single.
52.
Could tidy up in the end.
65. Help height required, 16.
Double eight for 3-1.
Game
And
shot
it
the
is
fourth
3-1.
leg. Help Puha.
Plays his game at Ali Pali on Monday, does Hopai Puha. So he might get to
Flick is
Saturday
Alex to
night
throw
and then just have
first.
one day
Game.
off before appearing on Monday evening against Martin Lukeman.
31.
Or Smash, as he's known to his friends.
Well, for viewers of the Super Series, you want to know when your favourites are playing at the World Championship. We've had a good few here.
180.
I think I better hold that thought. 180 to kick off the leg for Puha.
140.
Almost matched by Alex Small there.
Yeah, back to that thought. Well, Simon Adams, everybody's favourite. He's playing Ricky Evans on Sunday afternoon.
57.
As I mentioned, Hopai playing on Monday evening. Kuru
100.
Suzuki, Tuesday night. Owen Bates, Wednesday afternoon. Alex Spellman, Ben Robb, and Luke Littler will all play on Wednesday night.
131.
Then we're into all the seeded players after that. So plenty of players who've had a good spell here at the Super Series, taking their talents to the Ali Pali.
Will you be giving the games a watch, Murph, while you're off? Or are you not a big darts watcher other than the Super Series?
I'll be watching everything. And I've got my eyes on this double eight.
125.
Yeah, I'll be watching as much as I can. Doing a little bit of commentary there as well, a couple of days on the radio.
50. Help height require 8.
All Hopai Puha wants to hear is the referee Owen Bink shout, game shot and the match.
Game shot and the match. Help
And
Puha.
that's exactly what he does shout. 4-1 win for Hopai Puha against Alex Small, who started well, won the first leg of that encounter, but went on to miss 9 darts at double in the game. And Puha getting a good victory there, responding well to that defeat at the hands of John Henderson to move within 2 points of the top of the table, level with Bradley Roos on 4. And that is a very, very good night's work so far for Puha, who will play Roos in the last match of the night. But before it, John Henderson takes on David Schlichting.
And welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where before the break we saw Hupai Puha get the better of Alex Small by 4 legs to 1. We're going to see him in action in the final game of the evening session against Bradley Roos. But next up for us, John Henderson has a date with a perfect card. He's won all 3 matches so far this evening. A victory here against the winless David Schlichting will finish his night in perfect style. Let's see whether he can complete the job in the company of Scott Mitchell and Chris Murphy.
Thanks, H. Yeah, he does have a date with a perfect card. Sure, his lovely wife Veronica would like that to be a Valentine card in February, or maybe a wedding anniversary card. But the moment the card he has a date with is trying to do this 4 out of 4 and put him in prime position. Saturday night's finals night. David Schlichting, he's on the other end of the scale here. He is desperate to get off of the mark. You start to fear for him already. But the fixture's reversed. He will take on Hendo in his first game tomorrow night. So the writing looks on the wall from him unless he can find a good 10 points on his average.
140.
Yep, has not had the same impact that he did last time he was here. David Schlichting in the previous series when he really
59.
lit up the live lounge. Got all the way through finals night.
82.
It was quite late in the series as well, so it's a pretty quick return. It was week 11. He was devastated.
57.
Devastated not to get through his group. He did get a win in his group. A victory over Tom Lonsdale. But other results meant
99.
that didn't make it through to the semi-finals. The night that was won by Matt Dennant, for those who remember. Had some great stories here at the Super Series. That was just a week after
42.
welcoming a new child into the world. The other £5,000 would have come in very handy.
Yourself a nice little buggy with that, can't you?
160.
Well, no danger of busting there from Schlichting. Stayed well away from the treble. So far away, hit a double. The problem is he hasn't been hitting doubles when he's actually going for them.
128. David, you required 20. Game shot on the
Well, if you
first
said
leg. David Schlichting.
that one of these players would hit a 13-dart leg with a double first go, you'd think it'd be John Henderson based on what we've seen tonight.
Yeah, very much so. And we'll have a 13-dart leg on leg one's around 115 average.
43. $60. $60.
And they're very slow out the traps in this one. That's better, John.
140. $140.
Perfect first start for Henderson. Looks to cancel out that
100.
immediate break of throw, but Schlichting has got his own ideas.
$26.
Well, the best laid plans and all that
139.
going wrong for Schlichting and right for Henderson now. But has to cross the line in the leg, and that's not always a formality.
65. John requires 62. $22. David, you require 167.
When Schlichting missed with the
98.
first
Johnny
start,
McGuire,
Henderson just
40.
muttered, come on to himself, started preparing for this start, this visit.
Game
that
on the
outcome,
second leg.
All
John
square.
Henderson.
Henderson back in charge.
It's not usual that you see Hendo getting all the way
Going
down
against
to
John to throw first.
double 5,
Game on.
particularly this week. Polishing that double top and double 10 route off very well indeed until the last leg, last game where he had problems on one leg with it. It nearly cost him. He got back into the game.
26.
Bradley Roos, he beat him 4-3, but had he lost that game, he would have been absolutely ruined his misses.
84.
Sprayed all the darts in the last visit with Henderson, as we see the iconic rock in full swing.
47.
Nearly went with the last start, didn't he?
Did indeed.
$81.
I think with John Henderson playing that way, it all does have to be in sync, doesn't it? So many moving parts. If one's out, then you get darts like that.
$87.
Covered well there.
I mentioned his wife Veronica earlier. Excellent singer, isn't she?
57.
I've heard about a famous duet with one of our finals night Champions Week qualifiers, Andy Bolton.
41.
Take your word for it on that one. That's one that was news to me.
Well, he's not called the X Factor for no reason.
59.
Oh, I thought he was called the Extractor.
Oh, that should be your nickname. When you play him, just have that on the back of your shirt.
Just get one shirt made for when I play Andy Bolton with the
100.
Extractor on it. Yeah, not a bad idea. Andy wouldn't mind. He'd see the funny side.
I suppose that would make me an X-Factor fan,
140.
wouldn't it?
Only if you don't like him anymore.
70. David, you
Well, a
require
chance
80.
for another break in this bizarre bout. Henderson has not produced the levels that he has for the rest of the night in this one. Schlichting could take advantage.
60. Johnny require 130.
Couldn't with that visit. So a treble with one of the first two darts would have earned the Scotsman a go at the bullseye to
54.
win the leg.
David, you require 20.
Yeah, he's definitely gone off here, Hendo. Like milk that's been in the fridge for 10 days.
No score.
Well, he's back.
Johnny requires 76.
Oh, that's a disaster for John. Even a single one might have been better there. Now it's treble to double. May as well go treble 11. Okay, go treble 19 then.
Game
What
shot
do
in
I
the
know?
third leg. John Henderson. Fourth leg
He
is
just
David to
finds a
throw
way,
first.
doesn't he? And yeah, he thought he had the throw there as
He
well.
was snarling a bit as well. He got a bit nasty for a second and it was quickly followed by, oh, sorry.
59.
No, he's getting nasty with himself because he knows he's not playing how he can. And how he has been all week. That's the frustrating point. When you come off it once, you fear that you'll come off it again. But
Well, that little bit of rage is working, isn't it, for John Henderson?
139.
Managed to get that fire in the belly to get himself going. Come on then, Scott, as we move into the
41.
World Championship day, have you had a little look? Have you got a player in mind who you think will be lifting the Sid Waddell Trophy?
I don't think you can look past the sort of
57.
the main contenders really. And you know, there are players I'd like to see do well. I'd like to see Owen Bates do well. I'd like to see some new faces have a bit of a
83.
run. Would be great for the World Championships. And there's always somebody that comes out of the pack, isn't there? And has a run to the
90.
last 16 and quarters. You don't expect to get a run, and that's what makes the World Championships exciting. But it's always one of the big names drops
60.
early as well. Somebody, you know, one of the
156.
seeds, the top 16. There's usually one or two that go early, and that's what makes it exciting.
Well, this is exciting.
138.
Doesn't
Johnny
quite
Rock,
happen for
137.
Schlichting. John Henderson is looking for another one. Just underneath. Yeah,
170.
he's played in that tournament 9 times,
require
John
18.
Henderson. Best runs have been to the 3rd round.
Game shot on the 4th leg. David Schlichting.
David Schlichting takes this match to a 5th round. And not many would have thought that.
5th leg is
Thought
John
it
to
would
throw
be a
first.
walkover for John Henderson. It hasn't been the case.
Ironically, Schlichting is 10 points up in the averages on Hendo
140.
at this point at 2-2. So if you just tuned in and you wandered in and saw the average,
99.
and saw the score, you think Hendo was doing well to hang in there.
Looking through his World Championship record, yeah, he's only been to the 3rd round, John Henderson, but he's never really suffered a big
81.
shock defeat. The players that have beaten him at Ali Pali, John Park, Mark Webster, Vincent van der Voort, Darren Webster, Andrew Gilding, Rob Cross, Michael Smith,
57.
Gerwin Price and Johnny Clayton.
No, but John's one of those solid players, always has been. Even from back in the BDO days when I first met him, he puts a game up there and you've got to
47.
go and beat it. He's one of those type players. Everybody says you play the board and you don't play the player and everything else. And John is one of those that does play the board
59.
and stick that around that 90 average 9 times out of 10. Makes him very difficult to beat. And that's why he's had such good ones at World Championships.
180.
Dazzling darts on that occasion as he starts to up the ante.
140. Johnny Rock, 53.
Oh, that's a miss and a mess. 27 remaining for Henderson. They go for a 3.
He's miscounted
39.
there.
David Rock, 146.
I wonder what he was doing. It was 27. He thought it was 37.
96. Johnny Rock, 14.
Well, he's still not sure about that. He had 53 left. The single 13 he went for would have left top. So you take another 13 off that, it leaves 27. But going for the 13, left 14.
Shot on the 5th leg.
And he gets there in
John
the end
Henderson.
by hook or by crook. Henderson has the leg in the ledger.
The faces of the Highlander, we're seeing the lot
So
here.
it's
What
David
an
to throw first.
entertainer. Honestly, I still don't think he thinks that was right. Anyway, look at his face. He still doesn't think that's right.
Total confusion.
60.
Referee Owen Binks, I'm sure, will explain it to him after the game. But it's quite simple, isn't it? He was going for 13 for
140.
tops.
$59.
The best bit was he only just hit the 13 as well, right on the top wire, and then headed off to the wrong double. So we've all done it. We've all been
76.
there, and no doubt we'll all do it, and we'll all be there again.
Yeah, and it gave him the chance to produce one of the best darts of the night. That double 7.
44.
Shot of the evening.
$83. $99.
Well, he wants to get the match won as quickly as possible so he can have the debrief with the referee.
45. 100. Johnny required
Lichting
57.
definitely thrown a bit quicker here.
He's done it again.
He's done it again. He's at that double.
Right, 23, John. 23. You can ask. There we go. Well, a nice comedy moment between John Henderson and the referee Owen Binks. 23 remaining.
What's he going? 13 double 5 here.
Probably. 15 double 4.
53. David require 139.
It's funny, once you make a mistake on the count and then you over adjust, you overthink it and you over try it.
Well, there's an old
Johnny
saying
require 4.
that twos never lose. And nor has John Henderson this evening. It's 4 straight wins, a 4-2 win against David Schlichting, who John Henderson offers some nice words of encouragement. A good guy and a good night. A 4-2 success for the Highlander. Not his best performance in terms of the average, but it is a win all the same, and one that caps off a brilliant evening, a flawless evening for John Henderson, who wins all of his matches to go top of the Group B table. The last match of the night coming next, Hopai Puha against Bradley Ruth to decide who will be in second place behind him.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. We're joined here with John Henderson. John, 4 wins from 4. Job done for the night.
It was hard work, but no, I thought most have played really well. So it's good to get on top of the table for the first night. But all to play for tomorrow. But no, form's good, so hopefully I can continue tomorrow.
Did you feel like your timing was on point this evening?
I think so. Yes, I don't. David struggled all day, so it's all night. Sorry, truth. And I think I was benefited getting him out in the night, and I feel for him because I'm sure tomorrow's a new day for him. He'll approach it better tomorrow. But no, it's been 5 hard players to play against tonight, and I feel as though I'm in top form, and long may it continue.
That 160 against Hopai, how key was that potentially to your evening?
Massive. It's a turning point, really, is it? If he wins that game, it's a completely different night. But no, the 160 went well. I felt good all night, if I'm being honest. That last game, I don't know. It's fatigue maybe settling in a wee bit, but I don't know. But it was just, I felt good all night. So hopefully I can continue that for tomorrow and get into Saturday.
I know you would have been disappointed missing out in Group A, but the way you played over the 3 days must have given you a lot of confidence going into this evening.
Yes, the one that I won, I felt the last time I played, when I played the 5 days, I actually went on to win it. And the next 2 that I qualified on Wednesday night, I don't know if the 2 days off is a hindrance, if I'm being honest, but it's good to keep my arm going. As I say, I feel good going into this. It's great practice for going into which is going to be an important period in January. So, but no, I've played well. I'm playing against top players here, and hopefully I can continue tomorrow, and hopefully get the job done Saturday. Yeah,
get into Saturday. And look, you started the year with a win here. How much would you like to bookend it that way?
It'd be brilliant. As I say, this MODUS year is absolutely fantastic for us non-2 card holders. To start the year with a win, it would be fantastic to end it. So hopefully that's the way it goes, and then it gives me the positivity and the confidence to go into Q School.
Well, John, many congratulations tonight. We'll see you tomorrow evening. One more game to go for us here in Group B on this Thursday evening. Hopai Puha looking to get himself back in the winners' enclosure in our final game of the session. Let's hand back down to Scott Mitchell and Chris Murphy.
He didn't ask him how to take out 27. Henry Deacon asking the questions there. John Henderson providing the answers. And he's just had a fantastic night, a perfect night here at the Super Series. Yeah, the last match of the night, Bradley Roos against Hopai Puha, and whoever wins this game will be clinging to the coattails of Big John, will be in second spot and in a good spot to try and qualify. Whoever loses it will be the one that's looking a little bit vulnerable, with Alex Small breathing down their neck, and who knows, maybe even David Schlichting ready to charge tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll be looking
140
points in third place, whoever that be. Severely targeting it, but you feel that he'll have to go through the card tomorrow, as Hendo did today.
123.
Hopai Puha there. We're hoping it's him.
63.
Lucky bounce out there for Bradley, what I call a genuine bounce out. $140.
Right, 138 for Hopai Puha. A very famous finisher, 138. He was actually the one that was taken out by Luke Humphries to win the World Grand Prix. Think of any others to win big tournaments?
48.
Nah, not in 1983. No.
$134. I'll buy you require
90. For Hopai. Another single for the bull. A treble would leave double 5.
80. Bradley requires 64.
That was a flyer.
High and handsome, I think we'll call that.
On it high if you like. Tops, he's good on this.
44.
Clipped the bottom wire, but couldn't
Will
quite
play require
find the
10.
target.
Yeah, disappointed that he's missed his chance. Surely that'll run down the barrel. Surely he's got 2 barrels of rye smile as he throws
Game
it.
shot on the
He
first
knew
leg.
it was in the right place.
Puha. Second leg, it's Bradley to throw first. Game on.
On Hopai's shirt there, he's obviously got country flag on one sleeve, and I
60.
can only presume it's his state flag or something on his other sleeve. I will investigate that before tomorrow evening
60.
if I can find out. Investigative journalism, isn't it? They call it.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, I was going to say easy for me to say.
Easy for him to do this.
140.
I think the winner of this is through. You'd expect them to win another game or 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? You would.
100.
Come into the evening like this evening and target 6 points.
$180.
Done there by Bradley Roos.
$57. Bradley requires 121.
So 1-2-1 to back up the max.
$59.
So you think Puha and Henderson, is it Bradley Roos you expect to go through with them, or Alex Small still got a say in this tomorrow?
58.
Well, I think Alex Small's still got a say in it tomorrow. He's been rather a little bit unfortunate, like you say. He's been shooting the big numbers as a shot out.
Game shot in the second leg. Bradley Roos.
As Bradley Roos gets a shot out there on 62. And what about Group C, Scott? Who do you expect to come
So
through?
it's
No, I'm not
Halfway
going to
to
do
throw
that to you.
first.
That
Game
would not
on.
be fair.
It would be naughty.
$140.
Yeah, I won't ask you that question. And I'm not going to tell you who I think will get through either. Because we don't want to fall out, do we?
No, we don't indeed.
140.
Thanks to Craig Brown, I'm being reliably formed. It's a Maori flag that's on the right arm of Hupai's.
Well, that
180.
right arm is working well.
Sure is.
$81.
Is it easy in these long days, Scott, to forget the importance of certain matches? Just kind of
101.
drift mentally a little bit at times.
Yeah, you can let them pass you by. They will pass you by if you let them. You go from one game into the other, particularly when
140.
there are periods in the
That will
group where
require
you're
80.
on, then you're only off for one game and then back on, and those second game can pass you by. Still be, particularly if you've lost the first game, you can be
Game shot in the
disappointed in
third
losing
leg.
that one, and then
Puha.
before you know it, you lose the second one as well.
Well, before Bradley Roos knows it, he's lost the third leg. That's an 11 darter
Fourth
for
leg, it's Bradley to throw first.
Opai
Game
Puha.
on.
Regain the lead.
Again, as a player, we wouldn't be worried too much. Start of the game, you'd have taken being 2-1 down with the on your throw
100.
for the fourth leg.
But as we do come to the end of the evening's action, just a reminder that we will return for that Group C campaign from 1 p.m. on the MODUS Super Series channel
131.
tomorrow. Of course, 40 Stuff TV viewers can watch from 2:30 and then on both platforms from 10 p.m. And just a little favour to ask from those of you who are watching us on YouTube. 70% of you who are watching right now on that platform are not subscribed to the channel. So please make sure that you do. In return, we will keep providing
100.
brilliant content to watch away from the live show. You'll be the first to see it.
Yeah, there's some. I know I'm a bit biased because I help out here, but there's some really good
100.
content on there that you find out certain things about your favourite players you wouldn't usually find out. We ask the questions here we believe that you want to know the answers to.
140.
Can Bradley Roos ask any questions of Hopai Puha? Left himself a more than makeable outshot.
140.
Bradley is a very impressive young darts player.
130.
Level 20 for the bullseye. Bullseye. Oh, just
105.
the width of a wire away.
161.
Now, Bradley Roos may look at the bullseye, but hope to avoid it. Well, he has avoided it. I didn't expect him to do it by that much of a margin. But he's
Game on the
cleaned up
fourth leg.
and he's squared up
Bradley
at 2-2.
Roos. Fifth leg, it's Halby to throw first. Game on.
4 legs in. Pretty tidy averages from both guys here.
Not like the last match of a long night, is it? Both players fresh, exciting, and both in 3 figures.
140.
Oh, we didn't know if it was in or not. The point obscured by the barrels.
$57. $60. $60.
It's been a good session tonight. Had 5 or 6 90 averages, and we're looking at another couple
97.
coming in here. $7-ton plus finishes the tonight as well. Been a good session of darts.
140.
How high will his hopes be tomorrow? A win here, and he's put himself in a very strong position. Been a night dominated by John Henderson, but this pair have more than played their part.
Quite 64.
Both on 64, both averaging in 3 figures. Both looking good to qualify. But only one can win. And Puha is now a leg away. Buying an average
Sixth leg, it's Bradley to
of
throw
105
first.
from his opponent.
Hanging in there with a pretty 99 of his own.
60.
A lot of that down to the fact he's earned more opportunities at double, hasn't he? So he's been able to miss more.
83.
Hopai Puha. He's had 8 darts at double to Bradley's 3.
$100.
Roos still plugging away here. Like we say, he's
59.
All about holding this throw to take it down the last. Most of these guys will open up again tomorrow.
100.
Fixtures are reversed for tomorrow evening.
$40.
It looks like this one might go all the way. Bradley Roos has been involved in 2 matches that have gone the distance tonight. He won one against David Schlichting. He lost one against John Henderson.
100.
And his other match was a 4-2 win against Alex Small. So it does tell you that he has been through some battles tonight.
$80.
Yeah, and
But it
like you
require
say, those breed confidence when you
141.
come through on the right side.
Puhar's 2 victories have been 4-1. In fact, so was his defeat. This is 1-4-1 for Bradley Roos.
Game
Oh,
shot, the
beautifully done
sick
by
flick.
Bradley.
Bradley Roos.
Delightful darts from the Dutchman to tie it up at 3-3. And for the 3rd time tonight, he
7th
does
and final leg, it's
find
Halpine
himself
to
in a
throw
last leg
first.
decider.
Game
1-1,
on.
lost one. If he wins this one, finds himself in 2nd place.
$100. $59.
So, one leg will determine whether it will be Hopai Puhar or Bradley Roos that is 2nd behind John Henderson. Already 3 maximums in this match. That fabulous
131.
1-4-1 finish from Roos. 3 out of 4 on the doubles he is in this game. Really clinical stuff when it comes to the end of the leg, but Puhar's getting more chances
100.
to finish, and he has the darts and a healthy advantage in the decider. This would be 180, number 3.
180.
That's the way to close out a game of darts.
$60. How about you require 90?
Just going to tee up,
50.
double top.
$97. How about you require 40?
And this for the win. Double 10. Now, does he bust this?
No score.
He does. You can see the reason for that. Had the luxury.
100. How about you require
This time
40?
he won't have that choice. That's the one.
Game shot and the match. How about Puhar?
That's the win. Hopai Puhar, a 4-3 success over Bradley Roos. The win that puts Puhar in with a great chance of making it through to finals night on his MODUS Super Series debut. The New Zealand ace, who is heading to the World Championship, closes out the night in brilliant fashion, defying an average of 101 effectively from Bradley Roos. He had a decent night himself, but it's Puhar who gets 3 wins from 4, capped off with a 4-3 win against Bradley Roos, who had that fabulous 1-4-1 finish in the game. But it was Hopai Puhar who made it a hat-trick of wins on his debut at the Super Series, seeing off Bradley Roos in a thrilling final match of the night.
Indeed, he did, Chris. And Scott Mitchell's been watching all the action down in the commentary box. And we gave Hopai a bit of a build-up, didn't we, this evening? And we saw at times some really, really good stuff from him.
Yeah, he was really good, and the only time that we didn't see sort of the big 160 from Hendo sort of spoilt that game for him, and he took a bit of recovering from that, didn't he? But yeah, he's been mighty impressive tonight. He just sets his stall out. He does everything his way. He doesn't rush. He doesn't tear along. He doesn't get pushed along, and yeah, I've been impressed with him again tonight.
Well, let's have a look and see what's happened then this evening. These are the results from the 10 games that we've watched tonight here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And it was an evening, really, that was dominated by John Henderson, winning all 4 of his matches this evening. The Highlander in supreme form. And look, we saw the way that he played in Group A, and it was only Andreas Harrison who was putting in really Pro Tour top 32 kind of numbers to get himself into Saturday night's final. But Henderson continuing in the vein of form that he left in Group A for the vast majority of the night. Yeah,
absolutely. But the one that's impressed me most is Bradley Roos. He started the night really well. He went and won those games that he would have targeted that were winnable games this evening. And then he sort of lost out at the end of the evening, one to Hendo and then one to Hopai. But he's put himself in a nice position that he can get that 3rd place.
His big finishing was his real forte, wasn't it? A 140, that 160 against Hopai as well. I was saying to him in the interview, timing was his best friend, and it kind of felt like that, didn't it, this evening?
Yeah, absolutely, and we all know how important it is, particularly here in a group stage, getting your timings right, because you've got to. He's just amazing at the moment, and he's been good all week, and he's just going to finish it off, I think, tomorrow night.
Well, Scott is predicting a big Hendo weekendo, but let's not pretendo that he didn't have a miscount and mishap earlier on this evening. Well, 53 left against David Schlichting. He hits the double 13, which then leaves himself 27 in hand. And, well, he thought he was going for the double 8. In fact, he needed the double 7. But, hey, we've all been there, Scott, haven't we?
Do you know, we've just come back through the players' room and had a chat about it, and he still thought at the end of the match that it was Owen that had made a mistake, our referee, and not himself. So, yeah, fair play to him. He's got there in the end. He sat there in the back laughing about it now. But, yeah, if that had gone wrong for him, it could have sort of messed him up for a couple of legs, really.
Well, John Henderson's been here at the Super Series long enough to know, if in doubt, blame Biggs. But there's no blaming or giving any fault to the way that he played this evening. He started the year by winning a week here at the Super Series. So it continues in this vein. He's got every chance of doing exactly the same.
Yeah, like I say, he could bookend it. And what a way, like Johnny said in his own words, what a way to head into Q School with all that confidence of winning a week here. But there's one or two others of us that'd like to do the same this week.
I wonder who they could be. Right, let's have a look at the table following the end of the proceedings. So by Boo has 6 points. Bradley Roos on 4. Scott mentioning how good a night he's had. Alex Small on 2. And David Schlichting without a win to his name on night 1 of Group B. That's the halfway point. Tomorrow afternoon, we see the culmination of Group C. And what are you doing tomorrow afternoon?
Well, tomorrow morning I'm going to still be in bed till quite late, I think. So, yeah, got a few games on tomorrow afternoon, and I'm looking forward to that.
Well, we look forward to watching you tomorrow afternoon. Before we go, we'll show you how the land lies as far as that table is concerned, because Scott Mitchell, 6 points to his 8. Adrian Grain, Justice Smith, also on 6. Richie Houghton, Andreas Tove Jorgensen and Chris Wickenden all on 4 points. It's going to be a dramatic afternoon tomorrow from 1 o'clock on the YouTube channel and 2:30 on Sporty Stuff TV. But the good news is, no matter what, you'll be with us tomorrow night. Maybe into the final, maybe not, but we shall see. Thank you for popping by today. Double shift for you.
Yeah, I don't want to do it too often, but yeah, no, it's good. I've enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed it. I love talking about the darts. So, yeah, that's my favourite bit at the minute.
Well, we enjoy watching the darts with you, and we're looking forward to seeing you throw some darts tomorrow. And we look forward to seeing your company as well. 1 o'clock, we kickstart the action. Think of it as your little pre-Ali Pally darty party. And hey, we all know that the pre-party is where all the fun's at as well, isn't it? So we'll see you from 1 o'clock here on Sporty Stuff TV.